The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Don't wake me up. Mixed dream in a dream, don't touch, I've been taking up. Being shown in a vision, curiosity got me stuck. Yeah, 7 hands, 10 horns on
Shalom,
the
shalom. Come on in, hit the like button. Come on.
I see crowds, flames and floors.
Shalom, my family.
Is it war at the door? I've been searching for it. I can't get it out of my head. I see the stars are falling down. There's tempers upon my bed. The chase goes on and on. I'm not giving it up. 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 I'm at the point understanding dreams are the real time. Reason why they wake me up. I try moving on, but my body
Shalom,
is stuck.
come on
My
in,
conscience
come on
raised,
in.
the angel pick me up. Awaken from this matrix.
Praise the Most High.
Looking down on the globe, blood dripping from his robe. I know he can fix this. I see a burning Rome and our people coming home. Can I please get a witness? Witness, I'm not coming down till I get this.
Hazel,
This
kill that
prediction can't
thing.
be superstition. The decision being shown in the vision.
I've been
It's
searching
in
for
it. Yeah, I can't get it out of my
Oh, do we have a
head.
broadcast for you
The
tonight?
stars are falling down. There's tempers upon my bed. The chase goes on and on. I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. Ooh, I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up.
giving up.
I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. I can't stop these visions haunting me. It's not a dream. It's up in line between our dreams and reality.
It's called what, brothers and sisters?
Called prophecies. Oh Lord. Don't wake me up. I can't get it out of my head. Don't wake me up, no. The stars are falling down. There's tempers upon my bed. Don't wake me up. Goes on and on. I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. Ooh, I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. No, I'm not giving it up. I'm not
All right.
giving it up. I'm not giving it up.
All right. I'm Elder Ricard Shiar of the Gathering of Christ Church here with our weekly blog talk, YouTube conversations that we have each week, bringing out truth, revealing certain information, getting our people prepared in time of prophecy. Of course, again, I'm Elder Ricard Shiar, and I have a few guests Few guests with me this evening. I have Elder Lawyer as well as Elder Shakam Ya'ala, Kansas City, who've traveled throughout the earth with me since 2009. I'm going to bring him in so we can discuss that journey. And man, do we have so many things to discuss. Why? Why am I going here? The topic of our discussion this evening, and of course at about 8 o'clock, we'll be opening up the lines, or a little before that. The culture of a kingdom people is our topic this evening. The culture of a kingdom people. Now, before I do this, please, brothers and sisters, help me out. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything to do so. Just hit the like button for me real quick. And this way, maybe our channel would overcome, or could overcome, the algorithm. That's right. Our channel is shadow banned. All right. All the work we've done through all the years, even teaching on this channel, going through all its hurdles, they won't even allow us to monetize our channel with over 100,000 subscribers. And we're in good standing, right? But I guess this is the way of censorship, and what they're saying, that you may say something that's that might compromise the quote unquote guidelines. You may say something, so we're not going to monetize you because it's what you might say, obviously. All right. The culture of a kingdom people is the topic this evening. Why am I going here this evening? Hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe if you may. Well, I'm going here this evening, and see, I'm still messing around with these headphones. Hold on, I'm switching off these headphones. They're getting on my nerves. One moment. Oh, that's why. These are the kind that have the hook on it. That's why. See, I'm still getting, I think I'm showing my age right now. I don't know about any of this stuff. All right, let's see. Yeah, I suppose I hook these things around my ear or something. That's the issue. Hold on one second here. Well, I think this is better. Oh, yeah. So the topic of our discussion this evening is the culture of a kingdom people. Now, the reason, brothers and sisters, I'm going here this evening is because to a lot of people, they may see what's going on in the earth as doom and gloom. Brother Anya, Bishop Anya, sent me some pictures, and others from Texas and others. I think it was Anya. Sent me pictures of the empty warehouses from Kroger's warehouse. Kroger's is actually one of the biggest suppliers of goods and products for supermarkets, Midwest, down south, in different areas that supply the goods that's needed on a daily basis, food and all of those things for the supermarkets. And a lot of the truckers and people working in the warehouses have become seriously alarmed with the empty shelves. Like, there's no backup resources in a lot of these supermarkets. So the supermarkets have been using, sleight of hand, illusion, even putting up banners in certain areas of the supermarket to have it appear as if the shelves are stocked. High gas prices, billions and billions of dollars going to the other countries and all that. But it seems like there's a concentrated effort to bring those in America and in the Western world, predominantly poor people, to our knees, And they're squeezing our people. The more we're saying that there should be more justice, as they call it, more equality, more equity for those who built the country, the more they double down against our people. And it would make some feel that it's doom and gloom. But no. See, the Most High told the prophets that the times we're living in would come. And either it break us or does what? Make us stronger. Either we give up with no hope, or we do exactly what the Most High said that we must do to survive these times. Okay? There's no time to panic, right? It's time to do what? Stop asking the world for anything and understand that the power and glory and riches were within our people the whole time. The Most High is allowing prophecy to unfold so that we can actually dig in and show the whole world who we are, if in fact we are God's people. Okay? And see, the world works in numbers, but the Most High is behind the underdog. He didn't choose us because we were the greatest in number. He chose us when we were a few. Only 70 of our forefathers 70 of our people with Jacob and his sons walked into Egypt, and we came out with much resources and what? As a multitude. So the Most High is with the underdog. And I know a lot of people are panicking out there, but I'm going to tell you, faith is a currency. It's an untapped currency. Satan would rather have us depend on him and think of him and what will happen if he pull back his resources to force us to bow to the beast. It's a tactic to scare us into bowing and acquiescing to the prince of this world. But brothers and sisters, Christ showed us a different way that most people fear taking. And that's the path of less resistance. What path is that? The path of faith. Understanding that what? If we seek the kingdom and all its righteousness, everything that's needed on a regular basis will be given to us. But the question remains, do you believe it? Whether you believe it or not, he's going to force us through what's going on in this earth to understand the power that's within us. Either we deal with the power, we rally together under the Spirit of the Most High and use our resources for us, or be rolled over. The enemy think he has us backed in the corner. So when I see the shelves being bare and people taking pictures and the gas prices going up and all this, there's no panic at all. Now is the moment to show who we are. The other nations aren't preparing. The other nations aren't panicking. Why? Because they've already adjusted themselves as a community. They've already have adjusted themselves as a community to withstand hard times. It's our people. It's those who are suffering, who have made ourselves into individuals who are fearful more so than anyone else. They have separated family. They have made it where we can't come together. We can't see eye to eye. So that what? When the armies come, they'll have access to what? Children, knowing that the mothers are without fathers in the home. They set this whole thing up while the other nations have family. Even if it's 20 in a house, they have family. Sometimes 2 generations living in one home. They understand the value of family because what? That's the community or what? The first defense against evil. The faith of the Most High has began to bring forth a way, an idea, something that we never thought of all this time, acquiescing under slavery. What is that? What is this idea? This empire and the empires of this world wouldn't survive or could not have survived if it wasn't for us making these nations what they are. And that's why I wanted to call this evening, the culture of a kingdom people. We don't realize the value we bring just as what? God's people. Just for existing naturally with that creative culture he have actually given us. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. When it comes to culture, imagine what America and the Western world would be if there was no such thing as hip hop, if there was no such thing as R&B, if there's no such thing as jazz and all the the creativity that came out of what? Came out of lowly means. You might not think that's anything, but there's generations of other nations who have created generational wealth strictly off of owning our spiritual property. Okay, yeah, I'm talking about music is spiritual. The gifts to be able to create are spiritual. And it's currency. Well, I'll tell you what, the Most High is going to make it where what? The gifts of your hands and what he blessed you with will be your saving grace. It's time to kick in and use what was in us for a change instead of allowing others to grandize themselves with generational wealth off of sucking us dry. The kingdom is within you. It has always been within you. They've just convinced us that we needed them for exposure, to let others know how talented and gifted and important we are as a people. But the internet have done something. The internet have allowed people to move the middleman out of the way just so that you can get online and show your God-given gift without anyone controlling you. At one time, they could control the market, and that's what they are afraid of. They were afraid that one day God's people would get together and realize all together, not only that we are the children of God, that we have value. We would all come together and know, according to the Bible, once we read, that we as a people were played. We were played by the other nations. They put a psych trip on us to make us think we weren't good enough. But at the same time, our gifts runs the culture. Our gifts runs trends. Our gifts changes lives all over the earth. And the only people who never recognize that are us. Well, brothers and sisters, those days are over. They can only utilize or use us to the degree we allow them. Only to the degree we allow them. And usually what they try to do when we begin to realize our worth is to put pressure on us to break and acquiesce, to depend on them again. And the example I can give you, they use the modern day system, brothers and sisters, utilizes the Egyptian rule of oppression. Y'all might ask, well, what does that mean? The Egyptian rule of the oppression. When the slaves get restless, when they get tired and are willing to unite against the injustices or the wickedness, the Pharaoh does what? He goes to their employment, which provides food, shelter, and raiment, and says, you know what? I'm going to make you, that's right, you're going to make bricks without straw. I'll make your employment harder on you. You won't get a raise. You'll be happy to have a job. On top of that, I'm going to raise gas prices where the value of the money you're making isn't worth anything anyway. You will bow. That's what they think. It's the Egyptian oppression system. When we began to speak up against these injustices, they say, you know what? Let's turn up the heat, the Egyptian system. Let's force the people to make brick without straw. Oh yeah, you can have a job, but now you have to have a medical procedure. You got to do this and jump through all these hurdles. Your jobs are being threatened. Folks, this is the Egyptian system, and it happened soon as our people realized that Egypt was using us, that Egypt would not have become great without us. And soon as we started realizing our worth, then Pharaoh comes up with new campaigns to try to knock us backward. But guess what, folks? The same way God's people were freed even through those oppressions. Guess what? It's happening again. It's happening again. They're using all types of psyops and all types of operations to put you in fear so that now you acquiesce to master. You don't understand your value, but they do. That's why they're trying to force you under what? Their thumb, under their foot. They know your value. When are you going to realize that value and who bestowed that value on you? When will we come back to the God of Israel and understand his power, his worth, and guess what? The faith that we have in him will be the wisdom and knowledge that sustain us through this last captivity. Listen to what I'm telling y'all this evening. The culture of a kingdom of people, folks. Now today, Elder Lawyer, I need you to come on real quick. Elder Lawyer, I'm jumping right in. Let's give it up for Elder Lawyer. You with me, Elder Lawyer?
Yes, sir. Shalom.
I got elders to come up there too. Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, if you may, I need you to get Luke 17 for me.
Yes, sir.
Luke 17. Come on, let's go. Let's go. When you get an opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Our topic this evening, the culture of a kingdom people. The culture of a kingdom people. Let me tell you, Egypt fell as a superpower once we left. And what are they doing now? They got scare tactics, talking about shootings and all this other stuff they putting out there. Oh yeah, black, white, KKK, nationalists. Folks, ignore it all. These are tactics to put you under fear. These are misdirection tactics. If they really cared about racism and stopping racism, they would give our people what's due to them so that we could defend ourselves. They have the resources to give us what we need to defend ourselves. But they'd rather put us under fear and say, okay, go ahead and vote so we can stop people from doing things to you. Absolutely asinine. Absolutely asinine. Brothers and sisters, understand your worth. All of the empires have been built off of us. The corporations that we see today that are thriving in the $1 trillion sphere, in the multi-billion dollar sphere, was all built on slave labor. Without us, these corporations could not exist. Understand your worth and how to utilize that worth for you. What happens when there isn't anything on the shelves? What happens? It's coming. But it happened in Egypt before, and you know what? The children of God were absolutely fine. Because they prepared for the time. They knew there would be what? 7 years of plenteous and 7 years famine. Only a fool would know a famine is coming and not prepare. So you think the Most High is not going to give us the advantage of understanding what's coming in advance when he did the same thing with Joseph and the patriarchs over in Egypt? You think that? And I'm going to tell you something, folks. I'm going to show you something. The Bible is the only way. The Bible charts these famines, these historical famines, which can actually also be looked at in what? Secular history amongst the Gentiles, which verify the Bible's account as true. I have papyrus papers. I have the Egyptian papers where they were crying about a famine and the diseases that was attacking Egypt from the Egyptians' own pen, the Egyptian citizens' pen. I have the records. And you know what? While the world was panicking in Egypt, we were chilling in Goshen. We were fine. We have to understand our worth and know that, guess what? God is with us. God has always been with us. But the nations play on our insecurity so that so by default, we become dependent on them. And at that point, they begin to use us like batteries. Until we understand what's going on, and by that time it's too late, we're too old to do anything about it. They're already working on the next impressionable, unlearned, person who's seeking an opportunity. And with that opportunity, they use us. They use us. Elder Lawyer, let's go into what Christ said about the kingdom cometh not by observation. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. St. Luke chapter 17, verse number 20.
Yes.
And when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of God should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation. Neither shall they say, lo here or lo there. For behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
The what?
The kingdom of God is within you.
The kingdom, brothers and sisters, of God has always been within us. They had to get us to build these empires. Right now, the so-called Biden administration, after not doing anything for the people here who've built this system, is sending over about $50 billion as they claim to build Africa. But we know what it's really about. China already went there in advance. This is the fund the nations against us before what? The battle of Jehoshaphat. The war will be in that area. Big time. One of the last wars before Christ returns. Understand what's going on. But what they're doing is backing the children of Israel into a corner like Pharaoh did. Pharaoh thought he had a win. Him, his chariots, his army, him on one side with his weapons, with the Reed Sea on the other side, with no place for us to turn. And you know what happened? The elect, the children of God, the people who built Egypt. Pharaoh should have been what? Pharaoh should have been appreciative of us making Egypt what it was. But because he can no longer utilize us, he tried to do what? Come against us. And you know what? At that point, a spiritual intervention. At that point, they understood the God of Israel is above all gods, including the Egyptians' gods. They found out that day that they were fighting against God himself. So they can incentivize and ignore us and don't want to give us anything for building their corporations. It's okay, because God wanted this way. He wants us to understand what we never understood about ourselves, that we are the empire, that no nation becomes anything without God's people. We're the foundation. We were here before they got there, before they got here. The 10 tribes were already here. So they didn't discover anything. Okay, they conquered. They do what Esau does. But the Most High never took his spirit from us. Okay, they may come up with the math and the education and the ideas and want to construct and all these things, but you cannot do that without slave labor and the intellect that comes from the children of God. It's an impossibility. No great empire thrived without us as the foundation. We were here before they got there, before they got here, folks. And guess what? Long before heaven and earth pass, we'll be here. We're the kingdom. They're trying to scare you into not understanding your value and have worked with all these different religions to separate us from our God so that they can utilize us. Fear is a tactic. Faith over fear, folks. That's a tactic. That's why you'll never hear any good news in the news anymore. Everything is going to be, it's the end of the world. Oh my God, it's crazy. They want that. So what? So they can scare you up under what? The master's table. So you can beg for crumbs. But understand your value. This is why they didn't like Christ, because Christ was greater. Let me tell you what Christ brought was greater than just him being a person. He brought forth an idea that cannot die. That there's currency in this earth greater than money. Oh, yeah. And we're talking about the culture of a kingdom people right now. There's currency greater than money. What is the greatest currency, brothers and sisters? It's not money. It's not Bitcoin. The greatest currency is people. See? So what they're trying to do is trying to divide the people and stop having us conversate and understand that what? We really don't have too many problems against each other. The majority of the problems that we have amongst each other was created by them and by us following and listening to them. They don't want us talking they don't want us agreeing on anything unless we're signing an application to work for their team. That's when it's about teamwork. It's about teamwork over the individual. Everything they teach us to do at a job, that's right, it's shunned upon when we try to operate with that same level of organization outside of it. That's the only place we can do teamwork, folks. But the Most High, through what's going on, he's going to force us to be a team. And that first comes with what? Us understanding who we are. We're the children of Israel. And that we have one God above all gods. And he's sent Christ. Yeshua is his name, the Savior, to show us the way to safety. It's no longer Moses. Christ is guiding us. It's no longer Moses. He's given us the understanding that you're hearing today. He's given us, he's given us through his grace the opportunity to share the gospel that was extinguished for one time by the Roman Empire. It's him. And he told the Pharisees, the kingdom doesn't come by us sitting around looking and waiting for it. That's not how America was built. That's not how Rome was built. That's not how Egypt was built. Kingdoms are built with people, the greatest currency. This is why when you fill out an application, they call it, you must go where? We must go where to fill out an application, brothers and sisters? To human resources. What's more important? The paycheck you get after you've worked or the work that was put in for you to get the paycheck? They need you, or there will be no currency on the other end. There will be no paycheck. The human resource is what? The greatest currency. So now it's time for our people to understand their worth. Everyone else does and take advantage of it. So understand this. Read it again.
St. Luke chapter 17, verse number 20. And when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of God should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation.
Come on.
Neither shall they say, lo here or lo there. For behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
Look at that. We, according to Christ, are the greatest resource on earth. There would be no Wall Street. There would be no empire. There would be no corporations if they didn't utilize the slave labor that came with what? The curse on Israel first. So when the empire began to dismantle itself, how does one survive? Well, you must now survive with the resources that are in you. Because now that we realize who we are, Satan, with his empire and his priests and his and those that are aligned with him, is saying, since you want to serve that other God, you're going to serve him without help. Since you want to serve that Christ, I'm not going to help you. So guess what? The last couple of years, it's been Satan putting believers out of his house and saying, stand on your God. And that's where God wants us. That, guess what? The Most High prophesied these times where they would begin to pull back their resources, where the children of Israel must depend on one another and understand our value and come back to our God for the physical protection and the spiritual protection that will be needed to get through this. He wants us out here because once we start doing things on our own, we're going to start Elder Lawyer, we're going to start posing questions like, why didn't I do this a long time ago?
Right.
Right? Once we realize that we didn't need, don't forget, look at all these jobs we had. And guess what? Every job, every employer we had made us feel as if they could not survive without us. You notice that? Every employer made us feel. That's part of their psychology, folks. Folks, I'm going to tell you, I worked in Fortune 500 companies, big insurance companies and all that. I have every license you can name in the United States. Accident, health, life, annuities, you name it. And I've seen top CEOs, white collar guys, sitting down on their break, reading high philosophers and psychologists as part of their positions to be overseers. Overseers over what? Over the workforce. It's high psychology when you can make every person who's expendable in your company believe that the company could not exist without you. Folks, they have it down to a science. But the only people that have been benefiting are the corporations and their children. And at the end of the day, when you realize that you're being utilized, they've already started cultivating and grooming your what? Your replacement. We're not appreciated in these corporations in this world. It's the psychology they put out there to have us believe that that's the family we should value and be loyal to and be respectful to. We are more loyal to our bosses at the jobs than our own families, than the husbands are with their wives or the wives with their husbands. We give them more respect and honor and all of that. And it's through psychology. And by the time we leave these jobs, we don't have nothing left for one another. That was a trick to make you believe that your massa is your family. But now he's throwing you out. I've seen them read the psychology books. I've seen them. It's all about tricking people into servitude. But what happens when what? When the gig is up. No pun intended. We learn to kick in and dig way down in us for something for the sake of survival. And that's where the Most High want us. The kingdom cometh not by observation, but the kingdom is within us. I'm about to bring in Elder Shakam because I have a lot to talk about with him. But before I go there, Elder Lawyer, before we go there, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Let's now go to Haggai, where it says we put all the, you know how much money if we added up that we really make at these jobs? It'd be shocked that we're broke, that we don't have much. When we add up all of the salaries we made up until this point. Let's go to the book of Haggai, Elder Lawyer, and let's go to Matthew 6:33. Y'all doing a great job, folks. Please hit the like button for me, please, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, please.
All right. We're in the book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse number 2.
Come on.
Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, This people say, the time is not come, the time that the Lord's house should be built.
See, people are worrying about building everything else, but what? The kingdom that will sustain us through. See? People are saying it's not time to really focus on the real kingdom, our people. And that's not to say to disrespect or to feel negative about anyone else. It's about time that we begin to take in, when it comes to dealing with society, the same relationship they had with us for years when it comes to society. They can be cordial and all that amongst us, with us, at the workplace and all that, right? But at the end of the day, When the Asians and the Arabs and the East Indians and others, when they leave, they're doing what? They're emboldening their communities. They don't have to be disrespectful to us to prefer their own. So when it comes to believers and those who believe, Jews and Gentiles alike, we must prefer one another. And that doesn't mean, if we're in Christ, that doesn't mean we're disrespectful to others. We're cordial with them in public. We respect them. We'll even do business with them. But we have what? And we have a duty. We have a duty to service the righteous first. That's our duty, and the nation first. Finish reading.
Verse number 3. Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses? In this house lie waste.
Is it time for you to dwell in your sealed houses and only think about you? While what?
And this house lie waste.
While this house, his house lie waste. His people are suffering. We're being targeted, pressured into medical procedures and all that. I gotta do it to keep my job. And next thing you know, you're pushing daisies. No job, nowhere in sight. You did it to keep your job, and now the only thing you can behold, not a cubicle, but a light. Walk into the light. No job, no nothing. And you did something claiming through fear to keep a job that they've already prepped someone else to get anyway. Folks, I got something for you because I'm an insurance guy. Do you know that a lot of insurance companies aren't paying life insurance plans for those who are dying after taking the stuff? They won't cover someone who have taken the juice. Did y'all know that? They were getting blasted for the last year, having to pay all these premiums to a degree where some of these insurance companies were looking to go belly up. So a lot of these insurance companies aren't going to pay the claim. Why? Because, of course, no one can pay a claim for something that's experimental. See? See that? Y'all didn't know that, did you? Hey, folks, I still look into all that too. Yeah. You can have $1 million policy, that kind of policy. You'd be like, well, hold up. Well, it doesn't cover that, because it's something experimental. Read that again.
Yes, sir. Verse number 4. Haggai 1, verse 4.
Yeah.
Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste?
While this house lie waste. Read.
Now therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
I'm not saying the premiums. Excuse me. Premiums is what the insured pays. I'm talking about paying out the claim. A lot of claims aren't being paid out. Premiums are what the insured pays. You may pay your premiums each month thinking if something happens that your family's taken care of. But no, there's clauses. There's clauses. So to get claims paid out, a lot of companies are saying, well, because of that, we can't pay because it was something that wasn't in law the particular time where the insurance plan was drafted. So if y'all have insurance plans, folks, life insurance, you better call your insurance company to make sure they'll pay if you've already gotten the stuff. Because they're not going to tell you. They just allow you to pay premiums. You better call your life insurance company to make sure you're covered if something happened where you got that stuff. Okay? I'm just giving you a little tip here. But go ahead, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Verse 5.
Yeah.
Now, therefore, thus saith the Lord, or thus saith the Lord of hosts,
Yeah.
consider your ways. Verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little.
It says, check it out, Lawyer. It says, the Most High said, we have sown much. We have worked our behinds off and bring in little. Read.
Ye eat, but ye have not enough.
We eat, but we have not enough. Now, when we go to the supermarket, we're only getting groceries for what'll be cooked that day.
Mm-hmm.
The grocery bills are so high. We can't shop for weeks anymore. I remember one time we would go shopping once when my mother would get her check or whatever the case is, and that food would last almost 2 weeks to a month.
Right.
Now when you go shopping for one meal, it's up with $100, $200, and you're only shopping for today. It says we work so hard and we bring in little. Read.
Ye drink, but you're not filled with drink.
Come on.
Ye clothe ye, but there is none warm.
Come on.
And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
It looks like we're earning wages to put in a bag of holes. We ask ourselves, where did our last year's salary go? We're making all this money and living in debt. Where did it go? Right? The Most High, let me tell you, the Bible covers everything. So the Most High is saying, don't you know you're spinning wheels? Don't you know that you are a hamster, like a hamster on a wheel, thinking it's going someplace? You're standing still. But someone that you're working for is building capital off of you as a human resource, generational capital. But they just got you running and working. First one to get in, and guess what? Guess what? The Most High himself takes stock and value in a hard worker. So don't downplay. I'm not saying it's wrong to work. Joseph had to work in Egypt to get to leading it. And myself, I wasn't going to work any place unless what? At the end of the day, when I put my hands to something, I want to be the best at it. It's good to take pride in work. But we have to now look at it how the other nations look at it. The other nations don't go into work to retire there. They have a goal of how much capital they need to be able to bring the resources back with their family to build something together. It's not about you just working to pay your phone bill, your cell bill, and your rent or your mortgage. They're working with a plan in mind, knowing one day will be the last day there. See? So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with working. Okay? It's good to work. Organizational skills, there's a lot of positive that's in there that you can utilize for your own business. But if you're there to be a slave and not take the education that comes with it, guess what? You're robbing yourselves. That's a learning opportunity so that you can realize how what? The machine works to do it for yourself. See? Come on.
Verse number 7. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
Consider your ways.
Go up to the mountain and bring wood and build the house, and I will take pleasure in it. And I will be glorified, saith the Lord.
So now the Most High has given us what? The plan. If the plan isn't at the end of the day to help raise, protect, and guide his people through this, we've dropped the ball. Because every other nation knows when they come to America to work and do whatever, it's to send money back home to build a business where they will no longer need to work. Every other nation have figured this out except the slaves. That America is a harlot. It was made to be utilized and capitalized off. But the other nations understand that. See? And our people here, it says, listen, you're working, but have you ever thought of how to help your people at the end of it? Or is it just you? See? When are we going to have a unified understanding when it comes to survival? See? A unified understanding. And that's why I'm glad I brought in Elder Shacum today. Read, Elder Lawyer.
Verse number 9. Ye looked for much, and lo, it came to little.
It says, we look for much and it came to little. You know how many times, brothers and sisters, I see a brother come up and say that he got a plan that's going to change everything? You know how many times I've heard that? And to me, I'm going to tell you, no disrespect, I'll listen to it. But to me, I know that that person is just spinning their wheels. I know they're spinning their wheels. Oh, yeah, I'm going to help the church. We're going to do this, that, and the other. I got this big enterprise I'm dealing with. No, the big enterprise is rolling up your sleeves, rolling up your pants, and getting in the mud with the likes of us to help our people. And then the Most High will begin to bring what's needed on the road. You can't go outside of the kingdom to build the kingdom. It doesn't work that way. You have to be in the faith to understand what? Its currency. See? It says what? That last thing again, Elder Lawyer. Come on.
Yes, sir. Verse 9. Ye looked for much, and lo, it came to little.
You look for much and it came for little. Every time you look, someone got a new venture. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And you know what? It's okay. But at the end of the day, when we can't take that, even in the world, to a business negotiation. What I'm gonna do is never in a business negotiation. Okay? No, you come with a business plan. You don't come with, man, what I got a lot of irons in the fire. Yeah, okay. But what are you losing? Time. Because the same person who always come up with these ideas are still chasing that idea 5 years from now. And they don't even realize that they're telling people the same pie in the sky idea that they discussed with that same person 5-10 years ago. And then after they talk about what matter of fact, I'm doing all this, man. I got this thing, a few phone calls. I'm waiting on a phone call. And a matter of fact, can I borrow $20? Nah, we got to start thinking different now. There's one thing I used to hear that used to be insane to me. And I heard this in the corporate world. Not too many brothers, but I would hear sisters say this. Yeah, sometimes you got to fake it to make it. What? You fake it until you make it. I heard that in the corporate world. I heard some sisters talking and all that. I'm like, man, this is deep. They think faking it is a strategy. That faking it or deceiving people is a strategy. Folks, no one is going to be able to fake it to make it through what's coming. That's why I'm dropping Haggai before I bring in Shaphat, and I hope you're ready. Read that again.
Ye looked for much, and lo, it came to little.
You look for much, but yet it came to little. All of these ventures, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm this, that, and the other, but it's coming to nothing. You didn't realize that all the gifts were in you the whole time while you're looking for these ventures. When you go to fill out an application, they don't care about the ideas you have in the future. You get what? A position, a duty, and instructions. And the first day you begin to work, when you clock in, you're producing. That's how the real world works. The real world works with what? You must produce. Not know I'm waiting on a phone call. See? Come on.
And when ye brought it home, I did blow upon it.
He says, and when you brought it home, I blew upon it. So the Most High will have you with a good idea, but yet you don't have the right intentions with that idea. So the Most High will have you build that thing up and have all the partners in place, all the people in place, and everything. He says when you bring it home, when you're about to put that last card at the top of that house of cards, he said he blew on it. He went and blew it down where you'll have to build from scratch again. Everything was clicking. You thought it was going to work. And he says, soon as you got to the top of that house of cards, he blew on it. He destroyed it. He just knocked it down. Why? And then he tell us why he does this. Read.
Why?
And you
saith
ask,
the Lord of
why?
hosts.
Lord, I don't bother nobody. I'm a good person. I love my family. I'm working hard. Why? Everything I work end up coming to nothing. And now I'm back at square one. Why am I always back at square one, building over and over again? And I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any younger, but I find myself older, having to build from scratch as if I was 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old. The Most High is going to keep taking you to that same line until you understand what you're not doing. Especially if he loves you. Because he wants you to take that step of faith that's outside of just your idea. He wants your idea to do what? To align with his, so that you can understand that we were stopping ourselves from succeeding the whole time. There's nothing we can do without our God, without selling our souls to the prince of this world. If the Most High love you, he won't allow your soul to be sold there. He'll just have you going through all that over and over again. You know why? Because the Most High have all the time in the world. Where he is outside of space and time. It's just the time that we run out of. So he don't care if you're 50 or 60 and knock you back. You'll begin to say, you know what, let me try something different now. And you'll realize I should have did this 20 years ago. I should have trusted the Most High, and I should have had the right mind frame with my initiatives. If it's not for my people at the end of it, why am I even going into this venture? If it's not to help my people out of the ditch. How many people I've seen come to me and say, yeah, man, I got this thing going, man. It's big time. Oh, the crypto and all that. Yeah. And you know what? I'll be right back. Pew. Telling me what they got going on. Oh yeah. I got this, I got that. Listen, the work is producing now. You don't have to go out somewhere to work. The work is producing in the work. And you never hear that it came to anything. Just like when Christ went to the rich man and said, okay, you follow the law. You're the man. You do all this. Sell all you have. Put it down and come follow me. And the guy became bitter because he had so much and walked away. Lip service. Not realizing that Christ was going to bless him 100-fold. But he wanted to see if he understood that faith was a higher currency than the substance he accumulated in the world. Come on, other lawyer. Let's go.
Why, saith the Lord of hosts?
Why?
Because mine house that is waste, and ye run every man unto his own house.
Because his people are suffering, and when you think of a venture, you're thinking of yourself. You're not thinking of how it's going to help the people long term. That's why. And especially if he loves you. If the Most High didn't love you, he would allow you to sell your soul to the world and get destroyed in it. But he'd rather knock you down with the lesson so that you can actually take the next step of faith to do what we should have done 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and understand that anything that we do, it's for what? His kingdom. And of course, you're going to benefit from it because it's you who broke the ground with that idea. The Most High tells us that what? He tells us straight up, brothers and sisters, that you cannot muzzle the ox that treadeth the corn. So you're going to benefit anyway. So a lot of us keep blessings from ourselves, only thinking of ourselves. Right? So at the end of the day, we need what? Let's read it real quick, and then I'll bring in Elder Shakam.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Verse 10. Therefore the heaven over you is stayed from dew, and the earth is stayed from her fruit.
And the earth is saved from her fruit. You at Haggai, Elder Lawyer, what?
1 and 10.
Haggai 1 and 10. Let me put it in the chat for you. Haggai 1 and 10. The first chapter. 1 and 10. Come on, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Therefore the heaven over you is stayed from dew, and the earth is stayed from her fruit. And I called for a drought upon the land, and upon the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon that which the ground bringeth forth.
So
and
now,
upon men,
read on.
and upon men, and upon cattle, and upon all the labor of the hands.
All the labor of your hands. If we're not doing it with the right objective in mind, knowing the times we're in, the Most High will curse your hands. You'll just be wasting time because you're not doing it for the right purpose to sustain. While every other nation see what's going on and aren't worried at all because they have communities and families to fall back on. And a lot of their families own the resources that they're keeping from us. They own the companies. So even if they can't get into the supermarket, guess what? These people have their own supermarkets. They can have the food delivered to them directly. A lot of these religious temples, these Asian temples, these East Indian temples, they have corporations that does the contracts to have the food shipped over. They'll just have it shipped to their homes, their temples, and distributed amongst their people while we suffer. That's why they're not worried. Elder Lawyer, even during the so-called pandemic, when a lot of stuff, even before the so-called Ukrainian war, when we started seeing a lot of the shelves, lacking in our neighborhoods, right?
Right.
And when that happened, that was before the war. So they can't claim it's because of the war that now food is scarce. This thing was happening since 2020, mid 2020. We started seeing a difference in the supermarkets, right? Where the supermarkets was more so for you can go get the stuff shot in you if you wanted to, but the cupboards were bare. Lawyer, even during that time, you know me, I like to wander into other areas and see what the other people are doing. I went to a Russian supermarket. Now, see, when I lived overseas, I understood that sometimes the Russian supermarkets, they have the best produce, the best food, organic, and all that there. A lot of people don't even know what the Russian supermarket looks like. Elder Lawyer, I went to the Russian supermarket. None of our people in there. And guess what? That place was overflowing with food. At the same time that our cupboards in North Philly and different areas where no products was there, they were overstocked with food and resources.
Right. Right. I have a similar testimony. I went to, Afghanistan or Afghani, Pakistani supermarkets, and it was a similar situation. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but they're making our people believe that everything is gone. It's gone. Listen, let me tell you, they're going to have these Arabs and all that. They own the companies and shipping. They're just not going to ship it to us. They're trying to break the poor. They're trying to break the children of Israel. They're trying to have us build brick without straw. But the Most High has us. Because what? That's why I'm breaking down the culture of a kingdom people. A culture isn't just music. A culture just isn't the fad of the clothes we wear. The culture is Israel.
Right.
That's the culture. And Israel is nothing without its God, without our God. The culture is Israel, folks. Israel means to be a prince of God. Okay? That we are the creators of all. In the physical, we create all. And that's why the earth was made by us. That's why they cannot build any construct without our labor. That's why they couldn't conquer the earth unless we joined their military forces. Huh? But I digress on that. One thing I want to say, and then we're bringing in Elder Shakam. Elder Lawyer, I need you to read Matthew 6:33 for me, please. And guess what? I'm going to tell you. Even the Muslim cats in our neighborhoods knew that the Arabs had the goods. Folks, they knew even when there was a scarcity in the neighborhoods that the Arab had the goods. How do we know? I drive into North Philly because it was so good being on the road with no one else on the road. It allowed me to get through. I'm like, man, they need to stay like this forever. I mean, I was going in different lanes. I can almost spin on the expressway and go straight. It was so empty. So I was just trying to figure out what was going on because I know that everybody thought that the boogeyman, the thing, was outside, out of their minds. I seen people looking from up under their curtains, out of their window, as if the boogeyman was outside. When they told people not to go outside, I'm like, these people are crazy. Man, I was out every day. Mm-hmm. I was out every day because I wanted to see what they would say. I wanted to see if the thing was going to get me. And this is how I was able to come back and report and let everybody know that they got you inside for this particular reason or that particular reason. Okay? Let's real quick. Let's go to Matthew 6:33. Yeah, I used to drive around and look at what was going on, and I'm like, man, this is a farce. They're just trying to see how controlled the populations are. They're trying to keep people's eyes stared on the television, to get direction like a 3-year-old on whether or not they can step outside. Yeah, I seen this woman was looking through the curtains as if the thing was outside. The Loch Ness Monster was coming down the street or something. And, they looking at me, Elder Lawyer, bugging their eyes all open like, I wonder why he gets in his car every day. They thought I had superpowers, because I was driving when everyone was told to stay inside. Let's go to Matthew 6:33 real quick.
Yes, sir. Matthew 6, verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Seek ye what, Elder Lawyer?
But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God, his people. First, why? An empire cannot exist or be built without us. See, we've been so programmed to think that the only way we can benefit the system is grandizing someone else. Or that we can actually get anything out is getting a pat on the head from a boss or someone congratulating our labor. Not realizing it's our labor that have made everything we see in the earth today, folks. So now we must seek something for ourselves to survive. What are we doing for ourselves to survive what? The empty cupboards. The times where they close the supermarkets, and there's no coincidence that your medical procedures are in the same place your food is. Because eventually they're going to tell you, you cannot get your food unless you go over there to that pharmacy and get hooked up. Okay? That's where it's going. So they strategically put the pharmacies in the supermarkets knowing that one day the Food and Drug Administration was going to come together just like the name, the Food and Drug Administration. So what happens when what?
you're forced to do something or no food. What happens? Well, that and more we'll be discussing in a couple of moments. Elder Lawyer, what will we be going into this coming Sunday in the Academy?
Yes, sir. We're going into a brand new lesson. Something that we've covered in the past or we've touched on in the past, but touching on it this time with a new twist, dealing with the modern day Adam and Eve.
The modern day Adam and Eve and the serpent. Whoa. Do we have a lesson for you this coming Sunday? Yeah. And in this, Elder Lawyer, I got another piece that I'm going to bring out in this lesson. And the next piece I'm going to bring out in the lesson for the first time is, according to the Most High, we're going to teach. Listen to this clearly. According to God, what a man wants in a woman. What a man wants in a woman. It doesn't matter whether or not it's politically correct or whether or not people can agree to it or whatever the case is. But I'm going to go into that. I'm going to go into it.
Yes, sir.
Right? Feminism has really destroyed serious prospects for our sisters. Good men. Good men. And hey, we're going to go into it. But I'm going to tell you this, a lot of sisters are waking up too. Like, listen, I don't want it. For what's coming, I want a man to be at that door when the armies come. A lot of sisters are waking up that we were all played. It wasn't just the woman was played. Adam was played too. Adam was played too. So we're going to go into that and more. The modern day Adam, Eve, and the serpent. Okay? So we're going to talk about that this Sunday. A great family discussion, and I hope you all are there. You go to historytimes.org to get involved in that. All right? Hold tight. We'll be right back with, that's right, Elder Shakam is letting us know, okay, exactly the resources that are being developed strictly from us being in this work. What have come from this work with him joining this church and where we are now? And what are we building to sustain through the famine? That and more in a couple of moments. Hold tight.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.
Okay. All right. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Without any further ado, let's bring in, 1 second. Let me see where he is here. Let's bring in, let's see. Here you are. Let's bring in Elder Shakumya Allah.
Shalom, Elder. Can you hear me?
How are you doing, Shakum?
Hey, I'm doing well, Elder. Blessed by the best. And his name is Ahaya. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed by the Almighty. If you don't mind, I need you to just tell brothers and sisters your journey real quick. I'm sure they're interested in your journey. Of course, I'm going to play to Zion because what brothers and sisters don't know, it's Elder Shakum on the second verse for the song To Zion.
That's right. Yeah, that's definitely a part of the journey. That is me on there.
All right,
Yeah.
Shakum, tell the brothers and sisters your journey, if you may.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, Elder. First, man, where do we start here? I guess, I want to acknowledge the Most High and first and foremost, Ahaya. You know what I mean? He's the reason and, for everything, and that anything we are able to do is possible. So all praises to the Most High. But, I guess I'll start with just being introduced to the truth. Why not? Let's start from the beginning,
Okay.
Remember being introduced to the truth by
Gadiah Wan.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, what a lovely brother. What a lovely brother. But go on.
What a lovely brother. I was he was a co-worker of mine at the time, and he's still out there. Shout out Shalom, my brother, still here with the church as well. But for the most part, my journey has probably been, from there anyway, this beginning stages probably mimics and is similar to a lot of you all out there listening, where, you just, after being introduced to this knowledge and this new information, and the soot is wiped from your eyes, and you can see a lot more clear, and you're being lied to and all these things, I'm sure it's similar to what a lot of you have experienced, where you just overwhelmed with so much emotion and joy and zeal, and you want to make sure all your loved ones are informed, and you making sure they pushing away from the pork, and this and the lies of the church and so forth, so I began sharing with my family. I'm a very passionate person already in general, but even more so with this coming into my life, like this. But, a lot of times coming into this truth, you're just a babe spiritually a lot of times, and you may not approach things correctly. So, for those that this may apply to, look to be tactful, be patient. I don't want to get sidetracked from my journey, but, as I go through my journey, it that's a part of it, but because it did affect, and the scripture speaks to it. The scripture speaks to the divisions that it will oftentimes cause in family and so forth. And my mother, family, and others, friends, but my mother being, me and her so close, and it created a little schism with us. But all praises to the Most High, speaking of my mother, she's been following the church for years now at this point, but, so all praises for that. But, that was a part of my journey, for sure. And then, speaking of my family, my brother being a large part of my journey as well. And, they all watching me, from at least from their perspective, uh-oh.
It's okay. It's okay. Take your time.
My apologies, Elder.
It's fine.
at least from from their perspective, they're seeing, that man, what's going on with him? I think we losing him. He getting a little crazy. He's online watching these guys teaching about we the chosen people. And you have to understand, we talking about close to 15 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So
Look at
this wasn't as a common thing, as common anyway as it is today. This wasn't something you heard. You know what I mean? You were breaking a lot of ground. At least in certain places. In some places it was more common than others. But so my brother, he begins, Deacon Shathak, shout out to my brother. He begins investing his time into proving the teachings are wrong. He gotta, he gotta be here for his brother. Because
I'm gonna have him on one of these days too. But go on.
Okay.
Let's see what happened with him. He came in initially trying to prove you wrong. Go on.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. He came in and tried to prove the teachings wrong. He didn't take. He was right there with me side by side. Like, all right, I'm here with you. We always have been that way. I mean, you don't see one of us without the other. Matter of fact, you don't even hear one of our names called without the other name. It's like, it's one word, our name, so this is my brother, he gonna help his big brother out.
Kansas City, let's put it out there. Originally you heard it from Kansas City, Missouri.
That's right.
But
That's
go
right.
on. Go on.
Right out of Kansas City. So we sitting down, going through scripture, you name it. I mean, this is more than a full-time job for me and him at this point. We know, it's the only thing I can do with any of my spare time is get into this word, learning from you, listening to videos and just sucking up the knowledge and learning, and we're roommates at this time. So, we living together. So we going into it, we thumbing through scriptures just up to our neck in the word and the scriptures. One by one, we'd find ourselves, confirming what was being taught. My brother's very studious. For anyone who knows him, the way his mind works when it comes to those things and detail and specifics, history. I mean, it's crazy how his mind, works. It's funny how we work together. Different things I bring, he may be less of, and what he'll be stronger. And, we can come together and really, be a little, powerful. So, he's so studious and he's just fact checking and pointing and finding, and so, I can remember one of his big hang ups was the writings of Paul, and I'm gonna get to that but I remember too, we even had a chance and the opportunity to speak to you at one point over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I see at one point that the holy day is approaching, and I want to say it was the blowing of the trumpets, and that you were going to be in Atlanta. And so, I tell my brother, I get with my brother and I told him, hey man, we got to go. We got to go. We sitting down, we putting all of this in together, putting in all this work. Let's go. Let's go meet this brother, man. Let's go out there. Let's get some resolve. Let's go talk to him. Let's see this with our own eyes. Let's see what this is. So nonetheless, I mean, we had less than a week. It was right on us. And I'm like, yo, bro, we got to go. Whatever we got to do to make it out there, make it happen. Let's do it. And he agreed. Let's go. Right. So, we out there, of course, we meet you, Elder, and I can remember some of these things like yesterday. I don't know if you remember. You remember that in Atlanta?
I remember. I remember.
So, we're there, and of course we meet you, and you bring a profound lesson, and we feast, and it's just an unbelievable experience. We there amongst brothers and sisters and believers, you know, so we feast and all of that, and everything is coming to a close, and winding down, and people are leaving and everything, and me and my brother, we just hanging out. We gonna be there until the last people leave. We hanging and just loitering around. And I can remember we hanging out at the vestibule area near the front entrance of the church. And of course I'm not with Elder. I'm giving him his space. I'm not all up on him, around him, trying to badger him and all this. But we in that area though. But I'm essentially a stranger to this man at this point, but I remember, and it's funny, because how much you had already meant to me already at that point, from different things and me learning, and I'm just standing around, and I just got this whole spirit on me. I'm like, I'm not all the way close up on you or nothing, but I'm close enough, and I'm watching you. Man, my apologies.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Just go ahead. I know. You're flowing right now. Go on.
Yeah. So, man, I'm just like watching, like, man, I'm in some protective state. Like, man, ain't nothing gonna happen to this guy. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting around watching. Like ain't nothing, and I'm just staying near you and watching, and I'm not trying to say that. The crazy thing, it's not like me, and a lot of other people know me. It's not like I'm some outward aggressive, tough guy, you know what I mean? But this, this spirit was on me, right? So I'm just hanging around and like, man, this is a blessing to be here, right? And, somehow it comes around that you didn't have something fell through with your room, or your provisions or something, and so of course we got a room, we in from out of town, and we jumped on it like, hey, we got a spot, we got a place, if you want it, it's yours, you can come on, and our place is your place. Mi casa es su casa. And nonetheless, before you know it, all of a sudden, here I am in the same car with Elder Ricard, driving along, the same guy that I've been learning under for probably months, who knows at this point, day in, day out, studying.
Okay.
And we, so I'm able to, even be up more.
Let me say this, brothers and sisters, stick around because you want to hear where this is going. Believe me. But go on.
Let me tell you. Y'all.
I know you putting it all together, but they want to stick around for where this is going. But go ahead.
Yeah. Y'all want to stick around for this. So I'm in the car with my elder Ricard Shiar, getting to know him more, and we riding, and I don't know if you remember, we ended up at we went to Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles.
Yeah, Chicken and Waffles. I remember that. But let's get it though. Let's get it, because we got a lot to cover though. But come on.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. Because I'll be here all day. Let me fast forward through. But to say the least, we were able to get our questions answered. We were able to talk to you specifically, especially my brother on Paul, and we were baptized the next morning. I don't know if I ever shared this story with you, Elder, and I'm gonna be brief because I'm gonna move this on because it could definitely drag on. But we went to be baptized. You had some brothers who were in place there in Atlanta. And I don't know if you remember the older brother. He was there in our room for a while we were going through things, burning or B or something. But anyway, Man, we were there. I don't think I've shared this with you. I haven't shared it with many people, but we were there being baptized. And I mean, it was a beautiful day. Sky's blue. We had a natural creek, running water. I mean, it's just
Very
absolutely
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And when we step out of the water, that the elder brother that I was speaking to you about, he was there as well. And, me and my brother were both baptized. And before we could get off the bank and barely turn to go up, we hear this loud boom. A thunder strikes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I'm telling you, it didn't make sense because it was in the middle of a clear sky. And when everybody turned back from where we just came from and looked to this spot, and it was like right over where we was baptized, right? But I missed the part. No, the brother says, we coming out praising the Most High. Yeah. And the brother says, sons of thunder. And it goes boom. I mean, it was crazy. We all turned and everybody's like, okay, yeah, wow, that was kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
We get ready to, it's like, okay, that's a crazy coincidence, right? So we get ready to turn and head back up. Everybody snaps back.
It's as if there was a heavenly confirmation that day, right?
Elder. It sounds like a scene out of a movie, but I'm telling you, this is what happened.
Okay. Well, this is where I want to go, though. I want to go there because eventually, let's move it up a little bit.
Okay.
Eventually, you understand. We were teaching. Of course, we talked about we have to leave Babylon and let's go out and let's go do things, and started going around the country spreading the word. And
let's get to it.
You and your family pops up over in different parts of Egypt. I'm not going to put up specific areas, right? Now that experience was a deep experience in of itself,
right? Because
a lot of people, they can only imagine how it is being around elders and brethren where there's no distraction, no jobs to go to, nothing else to do. And I believe that was one of those times that brought the unit we have today closer together.
Oh, man.
If you can, because sometimes people think I'm embellishing when I'm talking about people coming off of the plane that we never knew, but there was apartments waiting for them and things of that nature. I remember that there was a time in which I moved into a small apartment and you brought me a mattress.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Of course I do, Elder.
But do you remember us spending out all of our money for the people who didn't have?
Yes.
And you had your first baby overseas. Remember that?
Yes, indeed.
So you went from Kansas City, traveling every place I went, from the Middle East into England, while the gospel was spread. Even Peace FM, setting up the churches in England.
Yeah, and I don't want to let you skip. I'm going to jump right back with you.
Come on.
But like you speaking to and saying, you don't know that people understand how profound things that was and what type of men that was able to forge in a brotherhood and the relationships.
Yeah.
From dealing with, that first academy with the brothers where we out there on the shorelines running, doing push-ups, all the brothers together, up and down stairs and dealing with, hand to hand and all of this. Then to, after dealing with the physical with your rock, going in and, dealing with you and Elder Lawyer on the spiritual and the mental conditioning and the scholarship of bringing us up like that, and it just really forged something special, amongst those brothers. As I mentioned, of course, Elder Lawyer, Elder Yirach, you have Elder Nathanazai in Florida, Ariah, Locke, my brother, I don't want to leave him out, Deacon Shathak.
Yeah.
But it was special. It was something, and I mean, and yeah, I don't know you know, to be under y'all's tutelage like that. You know, it formed something special for it for sure.
Now
So I didn't want to just glaze over that.
but
That's all.
but eventually I want to get to the farm that you have and how that farm came to be. We talked about a famine coming on, and out of nowhere, out of so-called COVID, you call me with an idea, right? I'm going to talk about that later because I'm going to show you how the Most High had us go one way, but his hand was working to preserve and to help, knowing a famine was coming way later than the 15 years we initially met. How you came for just to get a breakdown in a baptism, just to get close, right? But the Most High had a work in us prepared before we were born, based on where the church is now and what we are preparing. And I want to let people understand what it is to persevere. And I wanted to bring you in as an example today, Shecum, because things weren't always good. There were tough days. There were bad days. But you never, brother, you never gave up. And you're commending me, but I have to commend you because I know the struggles with your family. I know the struggles that happened when you left and people thought that you were crazy. When you came back and how the Most High even blessed you even more for making those moves when you thought that everything was lost, but you never gave up faith. That's a testimony because when people see what is going on now, it's going to blow them away. But let's talk about Elder. Ain't that something? I baptized you and I'm calling you Elder. Isn't that something? Check this out, Shecum. While we were over in the Middle East, in Egypt, the song Zion.
Yeah.
How it came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
I think Yahweh had a little part he was playing, and then Micah Allah picked it up, and I didn't even know Maestro did music. And that song was written, Shecum, in a matter of 15 minutes. And if you, every word.
Yes, it was.
First verse, bridge, second verse, right? Second verse, Rapaya Allah with that raspy voice he has.
Brought it on home, right?
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember and we had a little apartment and I painted it all blue. It was real nice. And I took my mattress off the bed, the same mattress that you purchased, and used that as sound absorbent in the bathroom to record Zion.
Yeah, I remember. I sure do.
And this is when I knew that you had a voice unreal. You didn't know I sung. I didn't know you sung.
Right.
And in 15 minutes, the whole song was finished. Brothers and sisters, before Shecum goes into the story of what he's doing right now, let's play Zion. And keep in mind, it's Elder Shecum on the second verse. Let me play this. Let me play this, please.
All right.
This is the first time we've listened to this back together, actually.
Yeah. Been a long time.
Yeah. Let's put it on. To Zion. I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm a child of Israel. I heard the sound. Hear the sound. Please give me the strength to stand today. With my eyes towards the east, show me the way to Zion. I'm on my knees. Laying my life on the line. Shecum, you can sing with your second verse if you want, if they think you playing around with it. Please don't let me
Well, I can't hear it, Elder. I have to hear it on a separate,
Here she come. He can't hear it, but don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Here she comes.
To Zion, I opened up the book and see
tribulation, I know I must stand. For a new heaven, a new earth, show me the way to Zion. I'm on my knees, laying my life on the line. Hold on. I'm begging, please. That should come. He does the second verse, and we put it. He sung it out, hum at the end, da, 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 to Zion. And guess what, folks? I wrote that song, all parts. Within 15 minutes, the whole song was finished, right? And after hearing those voices, we knew exactly where to plug each person. Even with Rapah with that raspy Teddy type voice. I feel the Spirit calling me.
Drawing
Me back home. Whoa. Been struggling with my family.
I know it won't be long.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Hey, so she come real quick. Just do the second. Just do acapella. Just do the second verse for us real quick. Come on.
All right, let's do it. I ain't singing in a while. Y'all bear with me. I hope I get these words right.
Come on, don't worry. I open up the book and sing.
I opened up the book and see that the apple of your eye included me. And through the tribulation, I know I must stand. For a new heaven, a new earth, show me the way to Zion.
Man, what a journey.
Yeah.
What
it's
a
been
journey,
man.
brother. Let me tell you, what a journey. How the Most High, listen, I didn't know I would know you any day. I didn't know. We just did the work. And
Yeah.
don't forget how many places Shechem has the gospel now. The Middle East,
Man.
the Netherlands, parts of Asia, UK. Think about that.
Yeah.
Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Gaja was an atheist
Yeah.
who didn't believe nothing, who was about to fight me not to read the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah. I was right there
But
with
even
you,
through
as we
all the
both know.
struggles, the ups and downs, and what everyone have gone through, guess what? People are standing to fight. Because you know what? I'm working to see the end of this.
Right.
It's like, after going through that, the Most High has taken us on an adventure that none of us could have thought about. And you know what? I don't regret one moment of it now that I see how it's unfolding.
Man.
Good
now
days,
that
bad days, but go ahead, Shechem.
yeah, no, because like you said, it nobody said it was gonna be easy, because there were definitely difficult times and trying moments and trials and tribulations. I mean, man, we could take up the next 20 blog talk radio episodes going into just the experiences that we've had just amongst us together, and tight places and different things, and not sure how we're going to make it through, or for that matter, make ends meet. And, we done, had to break some type of record on how many ways you can cook a potato. You know what I mean?
Hey, Shechem.
Back in, yes,
Shechem.
sir.
Remember when we had to go to the UK
Yeah.
and was stopped at customs?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You know it was you who got us stopped.
Okay.
Because
right.
you had applications when you're not supposed to be going someplace to get a job, right? Remember that? They went through and seen you had applications. And they wasn't going to let us through, right? Do you remember what happened when the guy looked at us?
I do.
Go ahead. Tell
I
the
do.
people what happened, because sometimes they think I'm embellishing. Go ahead.
He said to us, under any regular circumstance, any regular circumstance, I'd be turning y'all around. We'd be dealing with some whole other type of process. But for whatever reason, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys pass on through. All right, come
Look
on,
at
let's go.
that.
That's what happened.
The guy said every red flag that he was taught to look for happened, and there's no reason he should let. We had about what, 10, 15 people with us, probably like
Man.
8, 10, 15 people. And he said, I don't know why I'm letting y'all through, but give me your passports, and started stamping our passports.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
That's what happened.
And then the gospel started spreading to England.
Man, and we was in every nook and cranny, and you remember most of the times,
Yeah.
we had to go into
Now,
bars during the
Okay.
daytime.
Now, this I'm going to open up the calls soon, but let's fast forward because we got a YouTube page
All right.
coming for you.
All right. That's
In the
true. That's
midst
right.
of the virus, once you came back and got acclimated with your family
Let's
and
get
all
to it.
that, and we started making sure the church was fine in Kansas City and areas.
That's right.
You and your wife was working in the healthcare field and knew that they would begin to bring pressures on you all concerning, the shots or whatever the case is, and you knew that you couldn't do it that way, that something was going to come down the line, and that maybe you need to go into another country over the border. I'm going to put no names out there, to actually build provisions. Now, first you went and, but now we have to talk about the land and what you have produced since going over into South America for the church. Because don't forget, you was like, Elder, I don't got much. And I said, don't worry about it. The church will seed everything you need. Remember that?
That's right.
I said, don't worry about it. I'll send it. See, a lot of people don't know about stuff like that because I don't put that before people.
Right.
But church, when I talk about a culture of a kingdom people, church isn't just going to Sabbath. Church is establishing a community, a relationship that can sustain us like we did, like we were sustained in Egypt and coming out of Egypt. Church is a family. It's not just us coming together just to follow a law or hear a sermon. Right. Church is really how we operate when what? When we're not amongst each other. When we are out of the congregation. How do we really love each other like Christ loved each other? Do we really care about each other? Or were we just there to pass the time? Are we really in it with each other as a family to the end? To the end. Let me tell you, I got a call from a brother, like I said, who was left in Rome somewhere. He ended up doing some stuff. He's in Rome, calling me, asking me, Elder Lawyer. Elder Ricard. I'm like, how the Hades you get in Rome? But you know what? I made a few phone calls. I'm talking about the brother from Florida.
Yeah, Diane.
Diane. How the Hades you get in Rome? And I made a few phone calls, and he was picked up by a brethren who was baptized in the UK by getting on a train, a luxury train. He had no money. A luxury train from Rome to brethren receiving him in England. That's deep that that we can lay the ground for a families that no matter where brothers or sisters are in the earth, they can contact us, and there's somebody in the body somewhere that's going to give them food and shelter and treat them as family. That's unheard of. That's deeper than a church. And this is why I wanted to go into that. The kingdom is within us, the culture of a kingdom people, because we may have one objective or purpose, like you had from the beginning with us 15 years ago, or when we went overseas. But we didn't know that the Most High was going to do all this. I need you to tell brothers and sisters what you got over there. What have you built over there? And I'm going to pull up the webpage. Let's pull up the webpage.
All right. Yeah, let's pull it up.
Let's pull up the webpage. 1 second. And I'm sure Elder Lawyer want to say a few things. I'm going to bring him in a moment.
Okay.
All right. But you're there. Let's talk about this webpage you have here.
Yeah. So we have the web page, and it isn't even actually made public yet. It's set to premiere this coming Friday.
This coming Friday.
This coming Friday. So the name of the page. You know, it's a YouTube page. It's
Okay.
a YouTube page. The name of the page is, all right, y'all ready? It's El Negrito
El
Adventures.
Negrito. Spell that for me.
El Negrito. So it's El, and this is in Spanish, of course.
Go ahead.
El space Negrito, which is negro, black,
Spell it.
which is Negrito.
And that's El Negrito channel.
Space Adventures. El Negrito Adventures. Yes, sir.
Adventures. So this page, if they put this in, will pull up this Friday, correct?
That's right.
Now-
They could go there now, actually, and subscribe and be ready and, you know, be notified for when it actually premieres.
Now you sent me a picture of your daughter, and you and your daughter. I think the one, she plays classical piano too, right?
Yes, she does.
And she's the one that was born overseas, the first truth baby, correct?
That's right. That's her.
All right.
My baby Sarah.
You sent me pictures of Sarah, and I seen her as a newborn, actually milking your own cows on the farm you have there.
Yeah. I sent you a video of her milking the cow. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, tell us what you got over there as far as provisions, animals. What do you got over there before I play a few things on your page?
Oh man, Elder. You know, you're right. We did need to jump to this because it's a lot. I got a lot going on.
Okay, talk to us.
So I don't know where to start. I tell you I'll start here because that's kind of where the journey or the adventures, if you will, that's where they started, you know, with me getting things set up and what you're going to be looking at and expecting to see, which it's all going to, you know, be there and unfold for you all to see. But, you know, I started with chickens. Before that, I mean, I had to do a lot of preparation. I started with the land. You know, it's a lot to it. It's easy to say you just jump to, I did chickens, but you know, you got to clear the land, you know, prepare places and things for the chickens and all these things. But that's where we started, you know, and it's been a process of trial and error and learning so much. But man, with the Most High, it's like, you know, he's allowed me to bump my head and learn and from different mistakes and so forth. But when I look back based on the amount of time it's been, he's brought this thing so far, so fast. And me looking at how it's going to project going forward and even in the present is crazy, right? So I'm starting with these chickens, you know, and I went big. I jumped right out and got 1,000 chickens. Like
Now, listen, and that's not excluding the fact that you are teaching people over in South America, parts of Mexico, the truth. The church is there too, but go on.
The church is here. Let me tell you. Elder, let me just segue off for just a second on that. Like, yeah, because I'm looking at like, man, how do I really do this? Because I'm ready to go with it. You know, I'm ready to pull it together and teach the people. And, you know, and then I'm like, man, it ain't going to really just work just like that based on the language barrier.
Yeah.
You know, so I just kind of begin to become, you know, fold into the community and get to know people and build relationships and become friends. Like you said, it comes down to how you deal with people, right? And then before you know it, people seeing, oh, you know, he don't do this. He don't believe in that. He believes this, you know, because it's overwhelmingly Catholic here. And, you know, so it opens opportunities and doors for me to give my, you know, my understanding and belief concerning certain things. But I'll cut that short because it is a lot. You know, it's gotten to the point where, you know, there are brothers who have come to me just asking to be around me, wanting to work with me, just to be taught, literally. To say, man, if you teach me, I'll come. I'll just teach me.
So here it is. You're getting labor to work on the farm strictly if you teach them the Bible.
Just for teaching them, just for letting them be amongst me.
Look at this. Lawyer, I don't know if you're hearing this. This is amazing, but go on.
I'm not talking about anybody. I'm talking about respected young men, leaders, men that other men follow. You know, that's I mean, that carries a lot because, you know, then there's more that are coming. Like, oh man, if my big homie, if you will, this guy I look up to is under this guy's collar and up under him listening and want to hear this and asking that, you got other youngsters coming around. And so it's been a blessing, but
Well,
you know,
but speaking of that, what I'm gonna do on certain nights, man, until you get your thing really going,
yeah,
we got GOCC Media, and I would love for you to, for certain days when I'm not broadcasting, to probably come on GOCC Media and just show a little what you do live and interact with the people. I'm gonna talk about that with you.
okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? Because of what I'm saying is, brothers and sisters don't know that we don't. Is this church? We don't just be talking about doing something. And it's out of sight, out of mind. If they only see me on Wednesdays and Saturdays, they don't know the work that's been put in and what's really going on to sustain
Man.
people beyond these computers.
Day in, day out.
And,
Right.
and then because the absence of what they can't see, people can begin to draw suspicion or thinking that there's no hope, that others aren't out there working to make sure that there's something for our people when it all falls. And it's and when you sent me those pictures of your daughter, the daughter I seen milking those cows, I'm like, look, I had no idea the Most High was going to do this. And now you're teaching people. You're pulling them out of Catholicism in a majority Catholic country, and they're willing to work to make food for us.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
to learn the Bible. I mean, we can't take this truth, this Bible, this truth and what Christ did for granted, man.
Man. Yeah, it's something. I'm
Go
so
on.
far
I'm
away.
sorry. I get excited. You know me. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. And it's to hear you say it. Sometimes I don't stop to look at what has been and the progress because I'm so focused on forward. But it is something. It's something special. And along with what's going on with some of the brothers and people here, I have my own personal, garden and space and different things. And I say personal, but everything that's being cultivated is for the body. It's for the church. But I have those things that I'm able to deal with directly in the lands and so forth. And I'm in the process, and I've already have. I mean, I ain't gonna even say in the process. It's already being done. I say in the process because it's just gonna expand from here. But I'm in the process of incorporating and developing what you might want to call community gardening, where we're using other land or land that's just laying dormant and not being used and just filling it up. So for example, we one of the brothers here that I've befriended and have a relationship with now, we went on his land and just filled the whole thing up with corn. And me and some brothers, a group of brothers, no paying nobody. We just came together, went over there, filled the whole lot up. When it's the season for corn, we growing corn. We've got so that way it's so many layers, right? So we growing the corn, of course, is for us to eat, but the bigger picture is to get the experience and learn the process of preparing to break it down and provide food for livestock. So once that corn has come to its full potential and its season come and goes, and you've eaten the actual kernels of corn and ears of corn, you still have those stalks. And, then you take that and you grind all that up, with the right mixture and even with some of the corn and the kernels of the corn, and you bag it all up to get you through the season, the dry season. I mean, Elder, the stuff that I've learned it's too much. It's a lot.
Look at that.
It's a lot.
And not only that, this is a trade that's going to benefit the church. It's a ministry in of itself, where we can teach others with your experience. And guess what? You wasn't a husbandman. You were working for a fire department when I met you, and here it is. Now the Most High have you growing grain. You have cows. What other animals you have? I know you have cows. What else?
Cows, chickens, a couple goats right now. I'm looking to kind of expand on the goat thing, and do that a little bit more. Yeah. But that's where I'm at right now, with meat, chickens, and
right
egg
now
chickens.
you're doing a lot of eggs. You're doing a lot of eggs, chicken farm, and You got your cows and plus raw milk. I know you got the raw milk going.
Yeah, we've been making cheese, yogurts, butter, cream. We're doing a lot, and there's so much more ready, to kind of get to expand upon, but because that's why I say I'm in the process. But at the same time, I see the Most High really, this thing is just like catching wind,
So-
a snowball that just doubles up on itself.
What this
because
does,
it's a lot of labor.
and what this does, it helps out, especially with your web page that's coming. I'm going to make sure I promote it and talk about it regularly. And the reason why, even these community gardens and stuff you're dealing with, brothers and sisters don't know that they can just find a lot somewhere that ain't nobody dealing with, and just go ahead and throw some seeds in there, knowing that you're gonna know exactly when to grab the food.
Yeah.
Right? So
That's right.
I mean, this is gonna bless everyone with the idea of actually being able to produce food when they're trying to force people to take a procedure where they're gonna make it where either you do the procedure or there's no food. Folks, this is a blessing. The Most High brought this church together for such a time just as this. And guess what? I remember when this was at the embryo stage, and I knew this was happening, and I wasn't saying anything. Okay? But brothers and sisters, y'all have to know that when y'all do things to actually support the church, y'all need to know in the back of your mind, there's a lot of things going on that has nothing to do with church business. It's about sustaining families.
And Elder,
Yeah, go ahead.
let me apologize, but I want to make sure, you asked me what else, man, the gardening side of things, I have fruit that you won't even I tell you, and you never heard of.
Go down the line. What type of fruit you got? Just go down. Papaya.
Oh yeah, papaya. So mangoes for days, guayabas for days, mandarin for days, lemon, limon, which is a different variation, like between an orange and a lemon. Strawberries, different varieties of melons, cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes. I mean, I'm gonna leave everything out. Beans. And I'm not talking about a little bit. I'm not talking about a little bit. I'm not talking about a strawberry plant or one tree. We got banana, Elder. We got banana trees. Like they producing. They already giving off fruit. Like, I mean, it's a lot.
Look at that.
It's a lot.
Look at that. And soon, even when it all come down, we're gonna let brothers, especially brothers and sisters in the church, be able to flow through there and figure out and understand how to come through and help and all that. But it ain't that time yet. But people gotta know that we got some stuff working. We have farms and we have a lot of stuff. There's farms in Zimbabwe. We have in South Africa, Gathering of Christ Church, we got farms there. So, and I'm going to keep the rest under wraps because I want to just focus on you real quick. But let's go through a few of these videos if you don't mind. Just get a piece of this, all right? All right.
Y'all have to forgive me in my production skills. I'm learning. So these first few videos, but they not bad. It's good.
Well, we got Elder Yarack that's going to be able to help you on the production side. He's absolutely he's showing me some stuff that's out of this world. So of course he'll connect with you. And Yarack, Elder Yarack he's one of those. Yeah. He was there. He was there from the journey, from the beginning. So
from the beginning.
Right, let's play it.
All right, so
let's see your little introduction here.
You're here to see a chicken house, right?
Okay, hold on.
All right, so
hold on. Let's do it. Let's do it from the beginning.
All right, so you're here to see a chicken house, right?
Here to see a chicken house. The track is hot. Man, your daughter's a cartoon character that look just like you, man. What's up with that?
All right, so here we are.
Yeah, you know, I had to get some help to
Making
do all that.
progress
Brothers hooked
with
me
our
up
chicken
there.
house. It's coming quite a long way since I last, documented anything for you guys. So come on with me. Oh, let me get in the sunlight so you guys can see who's here. But follow me. Come on. Take a look here. There it is. There's the entrance. And there's the house. So I'm going to take you inside here. So let me point out a few things to you here. There's the wood that we used to create a foundation to make sure our chickens don't get out and to make sure nothing gets in. And we've got the wire, the chicken wire. I don't know if it's showing up on the screen here, but I'll get closer and make sure you can see it. Got our chicken wire, which wraps all the way around. And I can see you're taking a peek inside of my chicken house, ain't you? So let's just go in and let me let you take a look. So here we are. This house is probably a little different than what most of you are used to and or have seen on YouTube. Me too. We got a little bit creative, but I like it. It came out really well. If you can't tell, so we basically have the poles, right, for stability. There it is. For stability.
Let me go a little
And
bit.
then we are holding heat at night. See, he's bringing it down now. It's a lot easier, it isn't completed yet. So, but once it's complete, we'll be able to just see that.
There go your chicken house, right? Now,
I can't sign out without,
Now let's get to the next one. Let's get
as
to the next one.
always,
Yeah, let's get to the
Get
next
to the
one.
next one.
Yeah, you guys will be able
So,
to see kind of the
we
design
got
later on and other things and other videos. I don't know if
everything
you'll see it
you're
today,
looking
but
at where
the walls retract.
the
I'm able to let them down and up based on weather and
the-
whatever and so forth. But
Yeah.
this is, of course, like I said from the beginning. So we're going back in time as we look at these
Yeah.
right now. So I can reflect on how well it did or didn't work, man, and it worked out so well.
Look at
It's
this.
been, yeah.
Look at this. Brother, man, what can I say? What can I say? We're going to announce this and more as this progresses so that brothers and sisters can support the channel, learn from the channel, and we're even going to make it where eventually we, especially brothers and sisters in the church and others can come through and be a part of what's going on because, hey, we're going to need some food.
Yeah, and we got food.
We're
got
going to
food.
need some food, right? So I wanted to drop that real quick with you.
We've got to sit, man. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to need some food. Now, before we go, because I know a lot of people want to come in, and I wanted to talk about a culture of the kingdom people. When we first got together, of course, we understood the Bible says flee, but we had to do what? Be like he-goats before the flock to set things up so that there'll be places for brothers and sisters to join, to have refuge and help in time of need. What we didn't see is the full picture of us setting the ministry and the doctrine throughout the earth where there will be a quasi-spiritual, almost like an underground railroad, a network of brothers and sisters helping each other from city to city, from country to country, sustain as we go into the wilderness. It's becoming more clear as we get closer to this, right? And that leads us to the fact that at the end of this should come, there will be a Babylonian bounce, but it will be what? Permanent, eventually. But we're going to have to sustain ourselves through the famine, right? And the war that's coming. And that leads us to, the song, real quick. I said I was going to play it. I just copyrighted it, a matter of fact. Bye Bye. Now, I'm going to send you a copy of this, Shakam, after the broadcast.
Okay.
Don't play it for no one.
All right.
Right? Your family, of course, your family can hear it.
Right.
But they land to break ground August 1st to do the official video for the song Bye Bye, where it's going to be bye for good the next time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a fun song. It's not a sad song. It's matter of fact, let me play it. I'm going to play it for the brothers and sisters here. For the first time, y'all heard it here, and it will be the last time it's played before the premiere of the video. And I'm saying that because from the ministry, from the baptism to going throughout the four corners of the earth, back again, eventually there will come a time for what? Bye-bye. let me play it real quick. One moment. Let's hear it. All right, that's it. That's it right there. Check this out, brothers and sisters.
I've been waiting for a better day. Devil, get out our way. Jacob strong, and we're on our way home.
We're on our way home.
All these obstacles in front of me. Been blind, but now we see. Oh, and now we're flying on our way to Zion. Oh, bye-bye. So long to Babylon. We made it home. Bye-bye. All glory to our King. He got the throne.
Got the throne.
And the judgment has been said. He pulled us through. Bye-bye. I said bye-bye. There was no doubt, hey, saying there was no doubt if we fought we can win it. Now that we're here, saints marching in kingdom, now we're in it. Babylon has gone away. We were waiting for this day, and now we're flying on our way to Zion. Bye-bye, bye-bye. So long to Babylon, we made it. Bye-bye. All glory to our King, He got the throne.
Babylonian bounce.
And the judgment has been said. He pulled us through. Bye-bye. I said bye-bye. And now we're here. It's time to give glory to the God who shed our tears. Right now and right here. You showed us the way, and we've been waiting on this day, the fall of Babylon. Bye-bye. So long to Babylon, we made
Yeah, we're gonna have fun with this young man. We're gonna, we have the kings, the queens, the children singing. We're gonna be like, bye-bye.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Said you bring us home. I knew you bring us home. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when we came together, it was bye-bye, right? But here it is. The Most High says we're going to leave out with much substance. And in the wilderness, it tells us in the book of Zechariah that we're going to have cattle, land, gold. The scriptures tell us, and now it's coming into full view how it's going to happen, Shakam. Ain't that something?
Yes, it is. And we here living it out, that's the crazy part. Those scriptures are just coming right off the page,
Yeah. So I just wanted to invite you in, and I'm going to make another announcement this Friday on Patreon. All right, to make sure that your page is launched and that all the brothers and sisters support it. And brother, let me tell you personally, I thank you for your perseverance. There's many opportunity where Satan was trying to come against you, your family, but you never chose any direction but forward. You stayed, you stayed the course. And it's due to, I'm gonna tell you, brother, the Most High bless you with a very calm and patient spirit. And I wanted to thank you. I know you always thank me and all that, but anyone who can endure into this work with all we have to go through, because don't forget, Israel aren't the easiest people to work with either. They take us through some hard stuff, but they are people. They're the Most High's people. But we've endured, and I must thank you, Elder, for enduring. And you're going to help a lot of people. You're going to help a lot of people. Now,
Yes.
I know some people have some questions for you, so I'm going to just call you right back. Elder Lawyer, do you have anything to say before I bring in the calls? Elder Lawyer, it's up to you.
No, sir. No, sir. Let's bring in the calls. And like you mentioned, I'm pretty sure people have a lot of questions based on some of what Elder Shakam brought out. So I'd rather us spend our time getting those questions answered.
Thank you. And while I'm going over this, we have a new lesson we're going into for the family. The modern day Adam, Eve, and the serpent, for the first time taught like this in the academy this coming Sunday. Also, we have one more. We're going to go into portals also. We're going into portals in the academy before it's over. And also this weekend, this Friday, Patreon will be the music industry's darkest secrets. Shakam, you probably want to be there for that, because you was a man who, of course, another person who had business prospects and the dream of making it into the music business. I mean, you have a wonderful voice, and you have writing talent that brothers and sisters don't know about either. But one of these days, I'm gonna bring you on, and you're gonna just share your music thing, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm working on that. So we'll be linking up too. Me and you, we got some more work to do.
Wouldn't it be outstanding one day should come if we're at a Passover and you, myself, and Rapaya Allah on stage at the same time with Maestro on the piano doing Zion?
Ooh, man. Oh, wow.
Would that be big? Would that, man? Whoa. We may have to take that one on the road. We may have to take that on the road from church to church, right? But yeah.
That'd be big, yeah.
And let me ask you another question. I came out of the Baptist church. You came out of the church, right? Mm-hmm. And this is not bringing no shade on anything or whatever the case is, but have you ever thought that you would have the adventures and the fun it is being a part of a church? And I'm talking about sincere, I'm talking about real adventure, right? Not just going to the Sabbath, the fun of developing the relationships with people.
Man,
I'm gonna give you the last word on that.
That's a really nice place to leave it and kind of give me that opportunity and space. That's a great question, because it even folds into, my channel, because I also wanted to make sure it was palatable for everyone, my channel, and I'm segueing right to the channel because I named it El Negrito's Adventures.
Yeah.
By the way, El Negrito means the black man. I'm south of the border where they speak Spanish, and I'm oftentimes like when people talking about me in passing, the black guy, the black man, but anyway. so that's where the name comes from.
All right.
El Negrito, that's me, right? But man, it's been such an adventure, Elder. Like, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing. Like, I feel like following the Most High and doing His work it's like it's invigorating. It is, you're not just observing as life goes by, you're living life.
Yes.
You're dealing with those adventures, you're meeting the people, even from the day to day of the small things of learning how to be able to temper yourself and cultivate relationships, and whether it's figuring out how to juggle between how to approach your brother when you're wrong, and put yourself together to be able to humbly repair a situation, whatever. You can take it wherever you want to take it, let alone all the adventures we've been on in and out of the ghettos of the UK, dealing with Benjamin and all man, we could go on and on.
Yeah, what about those Arabs call themselves with masks before COVID? Act like they had knives out there when we were teaching on the street in England. Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah. So I'm saying, I don't want to minimize the word adventure by talking about fixing relationships, but it all becomes an adventure,
Yeah.
It's so, yeah. So I don't know. I think I answered your question. It's I wouldn't have it no other way. I'm living, you know what I mean? And I'm living with a purpose. I'm not just sitting back allowing life to happen. I'm jumping out, and even more so than anything, I'm doing it for something that I could not only stand on and stand for, but something I'm ready to lay it all down for. Like it's saying the song, like I'm laying my life on the line. So to be able to live, to really live and deal and go through life like that, with the hard times, the bad and the good and all of it.
Yeah.
Man, it's invigorating. I wouldn't have it no other way.
Elder Shecum.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother. So
Yes,
what I'm going to do now, because I know people going to want to come on. So let me call before the lines cut out. And we have about 40 minutes before the show ends. So let me call you right back, Shecum, because some people may have some questions, and I'm going to go call first and bring y'all back, okay?
All right.
All right, the water. And while we do this, keep in mind, brothers and sisters, that enrollments are open for the next Hebrew and Bible Academy. We have about 3 more weeks in this particular academy, but don't worry about it. A new installment, a new 3-month installment is now in process. So if you go to historytimes.org, you can get in for the next 3 months. The first week of the next 3-month installment, the next quarter, with the creation of the universe. And what we're going to be going into with this Hebrew and Bible Academy is to show how the Most High created time as a matter. Time is actually a creation. The Most High is on the outside of it. He's not subjected to it. And folks, when Christ stepped into this realm, it's gonna be a split second, a twinkling of an eye, because where he is, there is no time. He can just step into this realm, and there's what? There will be a space invasion. I'll be going into that and more in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, the creation of the universe. Time and space will be the highlighted points we'll discuss in that week's lesson. A different angle we've never taken with that lesson. And of course, you all know when we teach it, it may have the same title, but we never teach any subject the same. There's different aspects and angles on creation. So make sure you're there. Go to historytimes.org to be a part of it, okay? All right, let me call in now. And I'm sure Ramar probably want to chime in. When we talk these journeys things, we'll be amiss. It'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Ramar, right? But let's go here. Call in. Let me call real quick.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Okay, I'm live. And of course, again, I'm going to promote a Moth's album also soon. I'll do that next week. Let's see. Boom. Okay.
Unmuted.
We're unmuted live on Blog Talk. The culture of a kingdom people, the kingdom is within us. Let's stop looking for the nations to sustain us and find out just how much is in us. How much more you can do with you and your family to start a garden, to pray together, to do things to make provisions, not just stocking food and water, but being able to use the land around you to sustain at a time in which the other nations have prepared for. They're over the corporations. There will be no lack of bread for a lot of these other nations because part of their agreement with the United States is what? Is they're the merchants of the earth. They're not just the religious people as well as the shop owners. Don't forget, they're the merchants. So a lot of that product and trade comes from East India, China, and all these things will make it where when there's a famine, they'll get first dibs, even though we built the country. Okay, but I believe the Most High is allowing a time for us to kick in and now begin to do things for ourselves and realize that food doesn't grow in supermarkets. Okay, that usually it takes work to sustain, and the Most High is bringing us back there because eventually that's what we'll be doing in the wilderness. So what Shechem is doing and what others is doing all around the world is preparing us for a self-sustaining time that will soon be upon us. Okay, we're not, and folks, people who are not preparing for this are going to be caught blindsided. Okay, so with that, let's open up the lines. The culture of a kingdom people. You can take this any which way you would like. Open testimony or have questions. We have the elders on the line. 706 area code. Sanzi has a comment and a question.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, Sanzi. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best, the same as you. His name is Ahia.
All right. It's nice
I'm
to hear from
calling
you.
because I want to say thank you for the lesson and stuff. Everything that you is teaching, you're on point. And I just hope the people out there that's really listening know that the Most High got the Spirit on you for you to teach us and to tell us what's going to go on, and for us to understand that instead of fighting each other, we got to learn how to come together as one.
Yeah.
Just like we do in a marriage, we got to learn how to come together just like that.
Yes.
And we are more powerful when we are together.
Well, it's happening, Sister.
And the
yeah.
next thing, I don't want to bring it off the subject, but I really want to get baptized, Elder. I really do. I've been trying to get in touch with somebody, and I did everything I think I supposed to have done.
Okay,
but
where
I
are
just
you?
want somebody to just call me.
Where are you? What
I'm
area?
in Columbus, Georgia.
Okay, you in Georgia. That's no issue. One moment. Because what I can do, I can make sure that Baruch call you up almost immediately to get this done for you, okay? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 67, working on 68.
Look at
I
that.
talked to you before because I want my grandson and my great-great-grandson to be baptized also.
Okay.
But from what I've been told, they got to look at the video, go through the process just like I've already done. And
Yeah.
then once that happens, then they can get baptized too.
Yeah, because
So,
we have
but
to give them the
Some
full
of my family,
we have to give them the full understanding
family
of
that
what
brought it
it
to me
entails, so that they can understand that they're making a commitment with the Almighty, and so that they can be guided through this. Okay, so all right, so we have your phone number. I have it here in front of me. Let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure it's correct.
Okay, thank you, Elder.
All right, let me have your name again. Your name is Sanzi?
Sanzy, Sanzy Jackson.
Okay. All right. He'll be contacting you no later than Friday, okay? No later than Friday.
Thank you, Elder. And everybody, I love all of y'all. You keep doing what you're doing, Elder. I believe you, and I know the Most High got the Spirit on you so you can teach us. So I'm down with you, and I'm with you all the way until I leave this earth. Okay.
Well, sister, you ain't going nowhere soon, but thank you for all the support and thank you for your prayers and and everything you do to actually back this church, Sansi. I humbly thank you for all you do in your prayer and getting your family together in preparation for what's to come. We can't do it. Don't forget, the kingdom cometh not by observation. We can't do this alone. I can't do this by myself. We are a nation.
That's right.
So I mean,
be a team.
And like I tell brothers and sisters, the greatest thanks that you can ever give anyone who have worked in this vineyard, starting with Christ, is finish. That's the greatest thanks that anyone can do with me. Because Christ, you know what I mean? He said, listen, if you pick up your plow and put it down, you're not worthy of my kingdom. So the greatest thanks is, sister, the more we go through this, the more temptations and trials we'll go through. After you're baptized, some people think that baptism is a magic bullet that stops you from what?
No, I think the work.
No, believe it or not. Let me tell you. Exactly. Most people think that now you have some bionic power against sin or temptation. No. When you're baptized, Satan is even coming after you even more in temptation. Okay? That's why no soon as Christ was baptized, what happened subsequent to that? Right after that, he went and the devil tempted him and because now when you're baptized, that's a spiritual metamorphosis. We don't see it, but that the Most High is moving us from out of this kingdom, from the power of this kingdom, into his kingdom. The angels usher us out of the water. We are being protected into a new kingdom from that moment. So at that point, Satan ain't worried about the people he already have under his control. He's more so focused on those he's lost. He's lost. He's lost. And that's why it says when the spirit sees a man and he sees us garnished and clean, that's after being baptized. But then the spirits wait, and once something happens, more spirits come on the person, and they become worse than they was from the beginning. So that's why some people ask, well, why do we have these particular classes and all these things when it comes to baptism? It's not a small thing. This isn't the Christian church. Once you're baptized into this, okay, and not to throw any shade on that, but in the Christian church, you can be baptized and you still believe that you're under grace and still can sin without any consequences. That's not the truth. So once you get baptized, understand that the devil is coming to tempt you. He's coming to turn you back. He's coming to move you back into his world. And guess what? There is no gray area. There is no, I'm in the truth, but I'm over here too. No. It's either you're in it because there's only two masters. And either we're serving that master.
If I feel like I'm falling that week like that, Elder, I'm going to come to y'all and ask for prayer.
Exactly. Prayer can help us overcome it. But there is no choice. And all in all, and that's why I speak to Shakama, I speak to everybody. Listen, I understand when Paul says that we're prisoners to this. Because there's a lot of bad days too. There's a lot of discouraging days. But we're prisoners. Because the reality is, like the Matrix, once you take the pill, okay, once you see the world for what it is, you can't plug yourself back in it. It doesn't matter how much you try.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Sansi.
Thank you. The water, y'all.
Ayenda Bar. And Baruch will be calling you, okay?
Okay.
He'll be calling you. All right. All right. Next call. We have Diane has a question. Diane.
Shalom, elders. It's Sister Diane from Killeen, Texas.
Oh, I knew who it was. You got that raw milk. Talk to us.
Oh yes, and I'll be drinking his raw milk and eating his raw butter and eating his raw cheese. Oh, you best believe it.
All right. What you got for us, Diane?
So my question is, to the elder, are you able to grow einkorn wheat It's spelled EINKORN. It's a special type of wheat.
Do you know anything about that, Shikam? Shikam, are you with me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
we can hear you now. You can bring it. You can hit your
Oh,
camera
okay.
if you would like. You hit your camera.
Okay.
See your camera at the bottom? It has an X in it.
All right.
Okay, she's asking, can you grow a particular
Yeah.
type of wheat?
You know, sister, I've never heard of this type of wheat, but if you would spell it for me again, and maybe if you can give me a little bit of insight on it, if there's something particular or specific about it and a reason that you're asking about it specifically. But if you could spell it for me also.
Okay, so it's EINKORN. And the reason I'm asking about it is because it is really a special wheat. It's the only wheat that I know of that has never ever been hybridized or genetically modified or manipulated. And so it's a very pure wheat, the purest. Actually, the DNA of it traces all the way back to the Fertile Crescent. So it's a very, very pure, untouched wheat. And there are all kinds of articles that you can read online about it. I even read about it on my website. So it's just extraordinary. And my husband and I have been eating it for years, and our health has been just so great because of it.
Okay, so you have this wheat on your particular property, Sister Diane?
No, but when we do start homesteading, we want to grow it. But I write about it on the website. There are articles online that you can get to read about einkorn. I mean, you can find out about it. But I also read about it on my website as well. But it's loaded with vitamins and minerals. It's the purest wheat out there. And so it would be awesome if you could grow it on your farm.
Okay, you going to look into that, Shikam?
Yeah, I tell you what, you know, you never know. It might be something that's right around me and under my nose. I mean, there's quite a bit available that isn't always readily available in most places that I mean, believe it or not, I'm in a very fertile, and there's food outside of what I grow. There's food all over the place. So I'm going to check into it for sure. Thank you, sister.
Is that okay, Diane?
Great. And if you, oh, it's wonderful. And if you need any more information about it, if I can help, just contact me. I'll be more than happy to tell you more about it. But, and also, are you going to raise, or are you raising bees for honey? I need some honey with that raw milk.
Yes, indeed. It's coming. It's right around. It's on the way. That's the bee. The honey is coming. The bees are coming.
Okay,
Yeah,
and what
I'm
I'm
already
going,
in contact with some guys. We're working on it.
okay, so what I'm going to do real quick, since Diane has, I put her number down before, but I'm going to write her number down here because she does a
Yeah,
lot.
okay.
She does a lot on her farm, and maybe you all can network. So I'll give you
All
her
right.
number. Right? Hold on. All right, one moment. You don't mind me giving your number to him, right?
Oh, not at all. Mm-mm.
Okay, great.
I don't mind.
Let me write it down, Diane. Okay.
All right.
Well, I appreciate
And
you.
also-
Go ahead, Elder. Go ahead.
You know, I was just gonna say, you know, I know I saw some people asking about the spelling and how to find the channel. I did drop it in the chat, a link down below, and I'll go ahead and put it again. So even those who may not have the chat readily available in front of them right now, or you don't watch this now and you're watching the recording, or you just come back later and you'll find the link. I just dropped it again, but that way you guys can find it.
Okay, and thank you, Diane. And I'm going to give you a number, Diane, to Shikam, and he'll be calling you so that we can get some of that wheat. I'm gonna need that. 346 area
Yeah.
code. Let's go through these. 346 area code.
Oh, hi, hi, Elder. Salaram, Kenyatta again.
Okay, it sounds like you are far away. Is your phone good? Are you traveling?
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
If you're on a Bluetooth or something, take us off of that. It should work better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, this is good. How are you?
Oh, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, you're excellent, brother. You're on.
Okay, yeah. Had a comment, on growing your own food, and I guess some survival tips. But there was a time in my life where I had to go to prison, and they had me working out on a farm. I'd never done that before, and I learned a lot, from going out having to plant the seeds and all of that, stuff I never knew before.
Okay.
And they keep up with their crops, because they use a lot of different types of fertilizer and different tricks, to keep their plants from dying during, the harsh weather and all that stuff. And their seeds that they were using, they're covered in fertilizer before they even plant the seeds. Some of their seeds were covered in fertilizer. And then it helped the plants grow a lot faster than normal. But then I was thinking, how dangerous is that, those chemicals, being on those seeds?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is
eating that food.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is hybrid. It's hybrid and GMO. Maybe it bursts out of the ground, and it brings forth its fruit and and protect itself, but at what cost? Usually, your stomach can have pain, different types of stomach cancers and all those things like that. GMOs aren't good. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Shakam is speaking of more so organic. The majority, what you grow is predominantly organic. Is that correct, Shakam?
That is correct. Everything we grow is organic. We deal with natural, fertilizers and, compost and making different liquid fertilizers and different teas, and yeah. We're dealing with natural things, organic.
You got that, my brother?
No, I heard one, I guess organic way to help plants grow is, I think it was either bananas or banana peel, putting it next to the seeds when you actually plant.
Yeah, that is a natural fertilizer. Absolutely. That is a natural fertilizer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
We doing all that, we compost all of our, our waste and have a compost system. I have a few other things that I'm going to be moving into. Man, there's a lot, but yeah, we keep it all natural, even when it comes down to pest control and, fumigation and so forth. We deal with all natural organic methods.
Well, thank you, my brother. Get the next call. Okay. I'm glad he brought that up as a good point, because it's best to know that, listen, we're truth people. We're Bible people. We are as natural as they come. And it's important that people to know that, 501 area code. I see you, Sunshine. I'll grab you in a moment. Let me go down the line. 501 area code, because I know Sunshine be having this thing on speed dial.
Hello. Yeah, they told me it's the number one.
Lord have mercy. Tiffany has a comment. 806. I'll be back with you, sister. Don't worry about it. Get that conversation tied up. Just put that in a bow and get ready. I'll be right back with your 501. Tie it up. 806 area code. Tiffany has a comment.
Yeah, well, I guess I have a questions and comments. I don't know what to call it.
Okay. Well, the floor is yours.
But I'm very I'm very new to the channel.
Okay.
Or to your, to this ministry. So,
thank you.
Yeah, very new to it. I've kind of already, I don't know, and if you call it that, had a revelation of, who we really were. I kind of asked that question about a year ago. I always had questions about it, and then I think I even wrote a poem kind of about it. And then this channel just kind of confirmed it a whole year later, because I was like, I kind of put it on the back burner because I never could find anything, on it, that I felt was real, I guess, in a sense. So I'm kind of glad that.
Okay, so now you realize that you are actually from the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Yeah. I kind of knew it, but I never could get, real confirmation. It's been about a year. Because everything I could find kind of, I didn't really seem to line up with, line up with who God is. It didn't really speak love, I should say. And so, so I just kind of maybe even a week ago happened up on this channel. And so I'm just glad to have done that. I guess that would be the comment.
Okay, well, I'm glad
I don't
you're
know.
here. And I'm glad you're here. And because, I mean, the Most High been probably, like with all of us, have been trying to resonate with the message with you for a long time. And I know this is not the first time you probably heard that. You've probably seen brothers on the street. I was once on the street in the early 90s when this was a, it was like David against Goliath when it comes to what an Israelite was in our message opposed to the Goliath mega churches. It seems like this would never take traction. But obviously, people started to realize that something is different with us. There's some serious similarities between us and America and what we read in that Bible concerning the Egyptians against the children of Israel. Now you realize, like, we're in a systematic trap where, as a people, we can only get but so far. And we thought that maybe it was because the white man and the other races of people. This has nothing to do with the white man. The Most High God gave Rome his power. The Most High is bringing us. He's bringing us. Earth is our trial. These trials and tribulations are actually refining us like pure gold in order for us to become a kingdom people who will rule.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it depends on the aspect.
I've always kind of think all my life.
Yeah, so what we don't like here is a doom and gloom. Woe is me, the white man this and the white man that. Listen, anyone worth their salt in the Bible will understand that the Most High set up Pharaoh so that he can show his power. So we have to get out of that victim mode and understand that, yes, the curse, it happened. But the Most High gave us the law and sent his son to die. Okay, and through that death comes a sacrifice which sets us free. So no longer do we walk around this earth as victims blaming white people for our problems. No, it's not the white man that'll pull a gun out and shoot and have us in a neighborhood where we'll shoot one another. We can't blame the white man for that. We can't blame the white man, even though the system is behind them sending the drugs in our neighborhoods. We can't blame him when we're the ones selling them. It's time for us to look at ourselves and understand that we are a culture of kingdom people that have to bear the name of Israel and be responsible with that name. And that's the point. That's the difference between what you'll see here and other places who have made their doctrines off of pointing out white people. Okay? So I'm glad you're home. And I'm sure you'll stay. Yeah. All right. All right. Bless you, my sister. All right. Anything else before we go?
Can I get to the question part, though?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The question, I guess, I mean, do y'all actually, I don't, cause, I don't, the next step is kind of like, okay, well, now what? I'm so used to, I grew up in the church. So I'm just so used to whatever that is.
Okay. You so asking what's next?
I don't know.
Are you asking what's next?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, now what's next?
If you grew up in the church,
but you don't know. You know what I mean?
Listen, well, if you grew up in the church, you read the gospel, right?
Yeah, of course.
Christ ran into the disciples. They were fishing nets, and he says, "Put your nets down, I'll make you fishers of men." He baptized them, and they became disciples to learn the true doctrine. So now, what you need to do, and it's a good thing you're starting already by learning, but then what you have to realize is it's time to put down sin. That there's moral, civil, and dietary laws. And because we broke the laws, the Most High put us under the hands of the Gentiles who have no laws. So now you must become accountable to the Most High by following his law. Do you eat pork?
Not recently, not anymore.
No, just be honest. Do you eat pork?
No. Not anymore. I mean,
okay, let me ask.
Recent. I'm going to say the last 3 months, like very recently.
Okay, here's a better question. When was the last time you ate pork?
About 3 months ago.
Okay, so you put that down forever, correct?
Well, yeah, yeah.
All right. What about shrimp, crabs, or lobster? When's the last time you ate that?
That'll be about 4 months ago. Yep, that too.
And you
Yeah.
put that down forever, which means the only thing you can eat out of the waters is the fish that have scales and fins. Got that? Okay. You know what clean meats to eat. So it starts there. It's called a discipline. Because through that diet now, you're no longer eating the death of the earth. Pigs were made to eat the waste. So was the crustaceans of the waters. Okay, so now you're going to start getting your health together so that now you can think straight. So the dietary laws are pertinent. They're very important. And then it's the what? The moral law. Like you got the moral, civil, dietary, right? So you have the civil, you have the laws when it comes to, the ceremonial laws, excuse me, not moral, the ceremonial laws, which is the Sabbaths. Now you must hallow the Sabbath and no longer treat Sunday like your Sabbath anymore. It's from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, and we can help you out with that with you following us on the Sabbath, every Sabbath. Okay? The next thing, the holy days. When the last time you celebrated Christmas?
Last Christmas.
Okay. Do you know you can no longer celebrate Christmas for the rest of your life?
Well, I know now, yeah.
Okay. You have a Bible in front of you?
Yeah.
Grab a Bible.
I sure do. Okay.
All righty.
I have a Bible.
All right, Tiffany, I'll take my time with you.
Yep. Okay, I have it.
All right, Tiffany. Let's go to Jeremiah, the 10th chapter.
Okay.
Take your time. Let me know when you're there.
No. Okay. Jeremiah's a long book.
Take your time.
Okay, I'm at Jeremiah 10.
Absolutely. Start at the first
at-
verse. Start at the first verse. Let's go.
Okay. Well, it's not King James.
Don't worry about it. Well, that's another thing. After this, even if I got to send you a Bible, whatever Bible you have that's not King James, do you have a fireplace?
No, I don't have a fireplace.
What about a barbecue pit?
No, I live somewhere really dry, so no.
Okay, well,
No
don't worry
barbecue.
about it. Well, a trash bin will do.
Mm-hmm.
King James
Yes.
Version,
I
King
got that.
James Version Bible only. Okay? I'm almost afraid to ask you what's in this Bible, but go ahead and let's start at Jeremiah 10:1. Let's go.
Okay, verse 1 you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hear the word that the Lord speaks to you, O Israel. This is what the Lord says. Do not act like the other nations who try to read their future in the stars. Do not be afraid of their predictions, even though other nations are terrified by them. Their ways are futile and foolish. They cut down a tree and a craftsman carves an idol. They decorate it with gold and silver. Oh, wow.
Okay,
Oh, wow. Okay, and then
okay. Let me see. This is what they did with their word salad, with these fake Bibles. Okay, it's the King James that closely correlates to the Bible. To the original scroll. So what they did was they put a lot of word salad in there, and they told us, well, it's because of the Quaker English. They want to make it sound even more better for us in our current English, which was a deception in of itself. Okay, the devil did that. Okay, let me read Jeremiah 10, and you can follow me, and make sure tomorrow that you go get yourself a King James Version Bible. Can you promise me you'll do that?
well, yes, I can.
Thank you. All right. So let me get Jeremiah 10 real quick for you. All right, I'll get it here. Jeremiah 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure other people can see this too as I go here with you, because you're probably watching us live, where it says, Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Now this is what the Most High warned our people about. Thus saith the Lord, our God, the one who delivered us out of Egypt. Learn not the way of the heathen. We're not heathens. We are a people of law. Okay, heathens are people who believe that they can operate in this earth without law and still be accepted, like the Gentile nations. So we're not to follow their ways. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Okay, that's dealing with all types of witchcraft, sorcery, astrology, and all those things. And now, we're not to follow none of that. 3, we have a God to follow who made the stars. Jeremiah 10:3 reads, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen made with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. What does that sound like to you? What do somebody put at the bottom of a tree and deck the halls and deck their tree with every year? What does that sound like to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a Christmas tree.
Thank you. Did your preacher tell you that the Bible says that was Satan's tree?
Well, no, not about to say not really. They didn't really answer too many questions.
They should have told you in the church with the Bible in front of them that every December 25th leading up to Saturnalia, which was once called Saturnalia, which is their Christmas, that this is Satan's tree. Mm-hmm. The legend of this tree is that after Nimrod was dead, his mother Semiramis was losing power over the people because why? The majority of the population feared her son. She was a woman. So to instill the fear back in them, she was impregnated and lied and told people that she had a baby that was blessed by the divine with no father. Okay? And that Tammuz was Nimrod incarnate, and the symbol of Nimrod being incarnate was a tree which erected over Nimrod's grave. Now she probably got a few guys out there to plant the tree to pull the con, but all in all, this is the legend of the Christmas tree, where she tricked the people into believing that the tree was the spirit that the gods have confirmed the incarnation of Nimrod through her virgin child Tammuz. So here it is. She claimed to have this divine pregnancy, asterisk, during the spring. That's where Easter comes from. 9 months later, they claimed a tree erected over Nimrod's grave when she had the child. So it's Tammuz incarnate. And then what happened was the Romans, their mystery religion called Mithraism, they took that legend, changed the names, and that was the religion that the Romans, the Edomite Romans, were following while Christ was walking the earth. Okay? So after we fell in Jerusalem, after they destroyed us in Jerusalem, the Catholic Romans, who are the Catholic Church today, infused that religion and mythology within modern day Christianity because there was no one to uphold or defend the original Christianity like us. And then they repackaged their satanic, heathenistic customs and sold that religion to us in slavery as stories that we should respect because now they've changed the names from Semiramis to Mary, and from Nimrod and Tammuz to Jesus. Now, the Bible is correct, but we're here to set these heathens straight. That pastors out there are supposed to look at this Bible and understand that a tree, you can't lie and tell people it's the reason for the season. You can't lie to people with the Bible in front of you and expect these people to continually honor and respect the Bible. They're going to see you doing something wrong and understand that you're not even following the book you claim your faith is built on. So the Most High has a judgment for these pastors because they've read this chapter, but they still are erecting trees and lying to people. So I'm going to leave it there. Okay? I just wrapped up a whole history lesson in a couple of seconds for you, sister. You've been saved from the fire. The witch is dead. Semiramis and her son. The Most High have opened up your eyes so that you can find the God who told us not to follow this. Now, Esau in America is pushing this because this is the customs that led to our people being what? Expelled from the land. Because we did this, the Most High put us in captivity. So, of course, the Gentiles would make this a tradition to keep God angry at his people for continually practicing it. Got it?
Yeah.
No
Yes,
more,
uh-huh.
no more Christmas.
Mhm.
And don't
Yes.
and don't let your pastor lie to you and say when Christ came that changed. Christ said in Matthew 5:17, think not that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets. How he's going to come and undo what his father did? That's insane. Christ came not down to do his own will, but the will of him that sent him. So these pastors are crazy, making people try to play the son off against the father. They are insane. Okay? They're the only people I know use the book to tell people to explain why they're not doing something in the book. Utterly insane.
Mm-hmm.
So, sis, the Most High broke that psychosis, those blinders off of you. Our God requires obedience. And through obedience and discipline, Israel is saved. This is what gets us back on code. Got it?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, now you understand the culture of a kingdom people. And anything else before I go and continue to look and listen? What city and state are you in, sister?
Well, I guess to say Alexandria, Louisiana.
Oh, I'm from Lake Charles. So we got some people in Louisiana that can reach out to you, but listen, I'm not going to press you. Continue to do what you're doing and let us know when you're ready, okay?
Well, that was part of my question. I was just looking to see, do y'all actually, I don't know, meet? I don't know, like a service? I don't know.
Yes, we meet.
What to call it?
Yes, it's a service. What you smiling? What you laughing for? No, meet service? What are you talking about? You nervous?
I don't know what to call it. Yes. Yeah.
It's called a Sabbath service. And the Sabbath, where the Lord said, and I don't know if the preacher ever read this in the Bible, that the Sabbath is the day of the Lord, the seventh day. It's in the Bible that the preachers have in front of them. But yet they refuse worshiping Satan, operating on the first day of the week, with no scriptures that say at all to do so.
Yeah.
They're worshiping the sun.
I've always had
and hold up.
about that. I've always had questions.
Sister, I brought this out in the academy last Sunday. To actually go to church on Sunday is idolatry. Now, people ask, well, ain't no idols there. Well, no. During Nimrod's time, the sun outside was the idol for Sunday. So they would all worship the sun in the sky. That was their idol on the first day of the week. So everyone that's going to church on Sunday is committing an abomination. And on top of that, they are idolaters. Okay? Don't let no preacher come and try to go into the Bible and tell you, well, hold up. The Bible says that they broke bread on the first day of the week. Listen. If you get some biscuits and chicken on the first day of the week, I can break bread with you too. But you're not going to change God's day to from Sabbath to Sunday. You can't have a time that they did a meal and turn that into a whole holy day. That's utterly ridiculous. So don't let them do their satanic New Testament tricks on you. And then they'll say, well, let no man judge you in regard of a holy day. Well, those holy days it was talking about was the holy days in the Bible. Christmas or Sunday wasn't even in the context of that scripture. So don't let them try to play tricks on you, okay? The devil speak with forked tongue. All right, I'm going to place you on hold, sister. I got your number here. Let me have your name. And I spent a little extra time with this because I know the Bible tell you when one heareth the word and understandeth not, then come the wicked one to try to steal what's sown in their hearts. So the Most High got you. You are at a very, very vulnerable stage right now, just learning the truth. And you can go either way because what? You're not rooted in the word yet. You don't even got a Bible yet. So this is why I'm spending the extra time with you to get you on code, to get you in the right direction. first, go get yourself a King James Version Bible and punt that book you just read. Okay? We good. So let me get your name once more.
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Okay, I got you here, Tiffany. All right. And Louisiana, and I got some Sayers brothers over there for you, so don't even worry about it. Them my home, them my hometown. That's where I came. Hey, I came up Lake Charles, Louisiana, where the spices are right. So don't worry about it, sisters. I'm gonna make sure you get a call almost immediately. Welcome home.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome to the family. Bless you.
You as well.
All right. Well, we have to clip that up and put that up as a video by itself. Aaron has a question.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. How are you doing, Aaron? How are you? Let me put this down, this scripture
I'm
here.
good.
I left it up there in case the pastors want to actually read passages out of the Bible going forward. And you know what? I pull the rug right from under them because I went to every scripture they'll go to. Right? So I know they're probably looking at my video scratching their head right now. But go ahead. I'm listening to you.
They'll find a way to twist it.
Oh yeah, they'll find a way to start shuffling, but it's okay. Let's go.
No, I wanted to ask, man, have you ever thought about, because I know the lesson that you're going to do, Most High willing, this Friday, about the entertainment industry.
Oh yeah, brother. We're going into the music industry's darkest secrets. This coming, me and Elder Lawyer going to do a review on this particular topic, the music industry's darkest secrets. Yeah. But go on.
Okay, and when you brought that up last week, I automatically thought about those Do It Thou Wilt series and Handlers of Hollywood series you guys did. It was like 4 or 5 parts. Where, and I was like, man, I wonder if if y'all ever thought about doing those again.
Yeah,
but this time,
let me tell you, a
everything
lot of
that's going on,
brother, I know what you're saying, but YouTube then came up with all these guidelines that you can't use any other stuff, man. We used to be able to go into it, but YouTube have made it where
that handlers.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what I can do. I can upload that series on Patreon. I can do that.
Yes, because
I can do that.
For that Handlers of Hollywood series.
Yeah.
I really want to watch that again because that was a deep learning experience for me when I first watched that. My mind was blown.
Let me tell you,
when I watched that.
Because it was pointing out the particular people who are behind the business in their religion and who they really are and what they really, how they use people. So this is why anytime you try to break out stuff like that and expose the handlers, let me tell you, anything that was remotely breaking down and pointing out the handlers of this world was actually, they struck the page for all these videos. We had to comb through all of our YouTube videos to get it all off and save it to a hard drive because they were coming after the channel. So, but yeah.
I remember that because I remember it was on YouTube and then it was gone.
It was gone.
And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, man, let me tell you, it was like a hit in the gut for me, brother. I'm gonna tell you, I'm surprised they still. I'm surprised they still got the 12 less tribes found in the name of the Most High up there. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, and this would be my last question. There's a 6-hour video called the Synagogues of Satan.
Oh yeah.
Where it takes you from like 1865 all the way to like 2011, 13 or something like that.
Yep.
Have you seen it? So you've seen it.
I've read the book and I've seen the video, but you can't find it on YouTube anymore.
Okay.
I mean, matter of fact, when you find that, you'll probably find Jimmy Hoffa too. Okay, it's probably The series, that series is
I
probably
found
next to Jimmy Hoffa. Do
I
you have
found
it?
Yeah, you got to go to Google and type it in, and then it brings it up with a disclaimer. And that's and once you click OK on the disclaimer, and you can watch it. But if you just go to YouTube and try to type it in, it won't bring it up. You got to go to Google and type it in, and it'll bring it up.
Thank you. I'm gonna do that right
Yep.
now. Thank you, my brother. I was looking for that. The Synagogue of Satan. It's a documentary, right?
Yeah, it's like a 5-hour, 6-hour documentary where they go each year. They go through like from the 1800s, like the monumental moments from each year.
Oh no, I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna talk about that later because maybe I'm gonna make this another scenario in which we can do a we can do a Patreon review on. So I got it. I've been looking for this.
Okay.
I couldn't find it on YouTube anywhere. Thank you, my brother. See how the Most High work?
Oh, yeah. All right.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yep. And then could you? Oh, no problem, Elder. And then could you give me a call maybe at your earliest convenience?
Yeah. What's going on? What you need?
Well, I know you were supposed to give me a call a little while ago.
Okay, so I said I was going to call you and I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One moment.
But I know how things are. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. I've been swamped. There's a lot of issues I've been dealing with lately. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah.
You're talking about attacks, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna call you. All right. Just give me a little time. I'll call you. I'll make sure I put it in my phone for the reminder. Okay.
All right. I'll preach the water, Elder.
All right. Thank you, Aaron. All right. We only got a few moments before the calls. Shalom. Before the calls. A few moments before the calls actually, before the queue drops where no one can call in. So you only got 4 minutes to call in. 704 area code, we have Brandon. Brandon has a comment and a question.
Hello.
How you doing, Brandon?
All right, how you doing, Shalom, Elder? My comment, man, I just wanted to say, you the man. I love your songs. That Bye Bye is a hit. You on your way.
Thank you. Well, Christ is the man, but all praises be to him. But thank you for the compliments for the song. Thank you. But go on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm in the Charlotte body, and I've been trying to find somewhere where I can get me and my wife and my 2 kids baptized.
Oh, you ain't saying nothing but a word right now because I got Elder Owl on speed dial. Hold on. You listen, I'm multitasking right now. All right. And your name is Brandon, right?
Yes, sir.
And you in Charlotte, North Carolina?
Yes, sir.
All righty. All right. That's near my mother old stomping ground. Hold on, Brandon. Let me do it for you here.
Okay.
Let me see if it's right. Okay. Okay, well, hey, Elder Owl will be calling you before Friday.
I appreciate that, Elder, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're changing a lot of lives out here.
Well, all praise be to the Most High. I don't know anything else I can do. I'm a prisoner. And guess what? If I stop doing it, I'm afraid what would have happened if I stopped doing it. I mean, I can't even think about not doing it because I'm so excited about this truth and where the Most High is taking things. I want to see the end of this work. I really want to see.
I do too.
I want to see the spiritual realm come into existence. I want to see Christ do what he said he was going to do and establish our people once again. And there's no way, and even if I got to go with both of my knees scraped up, if I got to go in there with one hand, one eye, and 2 knees scraped up, as long as I make it in. Right? Hey, listen.
Amen.
Hey, brother, we can never stop the fight. Okay, so like I said,
my daughter wanted to say hi to you.
Okay, bring her on. Yeah, I can say. How are you?
My dad is a real fanboy of you.
He watches you all day, every day, by the way.
A fanboy? Come on, you can't say that. Ain't no fanboy. That I get that's some new lingo.
She's nervous. She just acting silly.
Yeah, what's her name?
Bad Thompson, but she doesn't on the phone. What's her name?
What's her name? Put her back on the phone.
Yeah, she will speak to you.
Hello?
How old are you?
13.
Oh, okay. That's the language. All right. Well, your father respects the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think about the truth? What do you think about you actually being from the chosen people of God? What do you think about that? That you were chosen above all people on earth?
I believe in God.
But how do you feel about you being one of the chosen people? The people who walked through the Red Sea. The people that was given the commandments of God. What do you think about that?
I mean, I believe in it.
Okay. All right. Well,
Well,
listen. Right now, you're in good shape. Honor your mother and father. Listen to your father, and you'll be fine. And guess what? You're blessed enough to have a father who believes the truth. And guess what? Hey, you're going to become a big fan because, hey, I'm talking about of your father. You should be already. He know the truth, and guess what? He's about to change everything in your lives for the better with this knowledge. How you like that?
Yeah. What?
All right. Put your father back on the phone. Lord have mercy. All right.
Hello. Sorry about that, Elder. She's just so goofy sometimes.
I know. Like listen, we were that age at one time. You know how it is. All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Yeah. Don't worry about it. You'll get a call before Friday, okay?
All right. Tell him, brother. Thank you for everything. God bless you.
Bless you. All right. 626 area code. Sabrina has a question.
Shalom, Elder Ricard. This is Sabrina over in Washington.
How are you?
Hi. I had a quick question. I wanted to know where that the brother that was on with you a little bit earlier, where he's located at.
He's in Mexico, but we're not putting out a location now because we still need our food to grow.
Okay, the reason why
you will know an area quite soon.
Gotcha. The reason why I was asking about that is because after 16 years, me and my father, we reunited, and he's actually, he's Issachar, so he's down there in like Puerto Escondido area, which is south, and it's amazing to have him back in my life and all. But I'm just a little bit concerned for Issacharites out there because I was just told that it's very
no, he's not. No, he's not in one of those cartel crazy areas and all that. And sometimes, just like if you live in another country, people think that people believe that North Philadelphia, is Vietnam during the height of the war.
Right.
So it depends on how how media is actually spinning when it comes to certain areas. There's crime every place. But at the end of the day, there's good people. If you're not in that environment and not dealing with those types of things, you really don't have to worry about that. All right.
So that's not. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is that in the public's eye out there.
Yeah, Shakam, just take. Yeah, just take your video off. That's all, and keep your voice there. That's fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I was just speaking to Shakam real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm listening. Go ahead.
So they're very strict on workers. So they're really pushing for the vaccine. And I was just told that I have two younger siblings who had to get the vaccine. And
well, usually because we on YouTube, we usually use the V word. We don't really try to use that word like that because it draws an algorithm with bots.
Okay.
They start sending satanic sentinels to try to, examine what's going on when you use that word, the V word. But the whole thing is,
My bad.
sister, the whole world is pushing what it's pushing. But you have to know your rights. Just because they're saying it and promoting it doesn't mean you have to follow what they're saying. These are just what? Mandates and strong, really, believe it or not, they're just pressing strong when it comes to pushing that particular agenda. But all in all, you have to make a choice and understand there's always legal ways to not follow the herd. You just have to find alternatives. So I'm really much outside of what they're pressing and what they're saying, and more so understanding that there's people traveling all around the earth and going about their business regardless of what the talking heads are saying on the news, because they understand what their rights are. So what you need to do is really figure out whether or not you have religious protection, health protection, and exemptions to be able to say, well, listen, it's against this to why I can't do this because it violates my sovereignty. It violates my health. So you have to find out whether or not one of these exemptions fits you and do it and travel and deal with it like everyone else. Just because they're putting it out there as as an option and they'll press it as if it's law doesn't mean that people have to follow it. Right? So and to make it clear, since this thing have rolled out, the government have never forced anyone to take anything. The jobs have never forced anyone to take anything. They've strongly suggested, and they left it up to the people. But keep in mind, no one have ever forced anyone to do anything. Every person that got this stuff got it voluntarily. So.
Right. And I did listen to your, I'm trying to honor my parents as much as possible. And I did listen to your RFID, the video that you had on it. And I sent it out to him and stuff. I'm just kind of, I'm a woman, so I have these feelings and I'm just really emotional about it. And
yeah, it's fine. That's understandable. I can understand that. But all in all, you must have faith, and you have to stand on something. You have to stand on what's right, and know that the Most High is with you. Stop listening to the news and stop listening to the worry, because this is what they're going to use. Fear puts you in subjection. The greatest tool Satan used against people is fear. Fear.
Right.
But then the question arises, where's your faith? Where's your faith?
Yeah.
You have to build that faith and understand that, hey, if you stand with the Most High, He'll never forsake you. Stick with Him, regardless. Satan is going to try to scare us into bending. Stick with Him and stop worrying so much. When the worry come down on you, sometimes this is what I do. I don't worry. I don't even deal with that. What is worry? What I do is when I'm concerned is, when I feel that something is pressing on my spirit, I go into the bathroom by myself, go into a closet like Christ say. I say the Lord's Prayer. And, and next thing you know, that pulls me back. I say the Lord's Prayer and, then I leave the room and I'm like, okay, let's get it. So stop worrying. Don't worry about what they're saying. They're pressing. They're strongly suggesting. But they haven't forced anyone to do anything. Okay?
Yeah.
I know. Listen, I know a brother, and I'm not going to say his name, but he was told, in 3 months, if you don't do this, you ain't going to have a job. Guess what happened? 3 months came and gone. And then they said, well, in 3 months, if you don't do this, you ain't going to have a job. Now, the whole time, this brother was just looking at him like they had two heads. Because there was nothing in his job description that said that he had to do that. So the 3 months came, and guess what happened? They said, well, in 3 months, if you don't get it, you ain't going to have a job. 9 months then went, almost a year. And then what happened after the 3 months? If you don't get it in 3 months, you're not going to have a job. Now, by the time a whole year went by, sister, they was kicking this can down the road. All the people who thought that they only had 3 months, guess what? Guess what? They all succumbed to the fear and got it. And then, after a year and a half passed, kicking it down the road every 3 months, they said it's no longer necessary. And guess who was still working there? And it's fine. They don't have to deal with it. So did they force anyone? Now, did they actually force anyone to get it? No. They were saying, here's the deadline that employees have to get it. They would put a deadline there. But they never said that. They never said that if you don't do it, you're fired. You know why? Because that's illegal. That's illegal. You can't fire someone for something medical unless they signed up for that, unless they signed up initially to make that a prerequisite to have employment. So, but eventually, the majority of the people were afraid, were scared into it, and they got it. And through that, the percentage of people that the job required was fulfilled. The people who thought it meant they did it on their job, they got it, and guess what? The company was able to meet their quota. Okay, that's all I can say on that. All right.
Yeah.
So no fear, faith
All right,
over
well-
fear. Okay, I got to get to the next call, but I'll let you get the last word.
All right, shalom.
Shalom, sister, and stay strong. Okay.
Okay.
The Most High's with you, Sabrina. Stop worrying.
Okay.
All right. All right. 267 area code. And we have Juan. We have Juan who's living in Columbia who has a question. Yes. How are you? You're from the Philadelphia area, I suppose.
Shalom. Yes.
All right. You have two people. Are two people on the line here? You have two people there?
Yes, sir. I called in so my aunt was able to talk to you because she couldn't call in.
Oh, how are you doing, Ani? Talk to me.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom.
This is Belinda Kirkpatrick in the Philadelphia area. I am presently in the academy for the second time.
Thank you.
I have two questions.
Okay.
The first question is how can I become how can I join the Philadelphia body?
Oh, well, Bishop Amoth can give you a call and we can get the ball rolling.
Okay, and I also desire to be baptized.
Okay, there you go. Let's roll. Hey, woman, can you be reached on this number?
No, my number is...
Okay, well, I don't want you to put it
can I
out there
get a
because you'll
number?
be getting crank calls all night. What I can do is I can use this number and have them call this sister, and this sister will contact you. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's my niece.
Okay, what is your name, sister?
And I kind of my name is Belinda.
But what is the sister? Who's the sister attached to this phone number? That
My name is Mona.
Mona?
Yes, I'm the one that's in Florida that you hooked up with Elder Purnell.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay, sister, what is your name? The sister from Philadelphia.
Belinda.
Belinda. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I just sent that to Bishop Amoth. You should get a phone call tomorrow. Make sure, Mona, that.
Okay. Also.
Make sure, Mona, that you convey
Also, Elder.
the information. Yeah.
Also, Elder.
Yeah.
I've been in the truth since 1995.
You mean 1995?
I've been learning.
Okay, so were you
Yes,
there when when I
1995.
was teaching on the streets in 15th and Market down there when we was on Cheltenham Avenue?
Yes, I used to go to UPK.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was a general in UPK.
Okay. I also have some music.
Okay.
some Israelite music that I would like to, I guess, re-record. And I don't know how to go about doing that.
Well, Sister Belinda, let's take one thing at a time. Let's get this connection first. And all the ventures and everything you like to do to help bless this work, hey, this is the place to do it. Let's get the connection first, okay? And we'll discuss other, the relationship that you have with the church, and we'll help you do whatever you need to do to bless the work, okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So wait for the call. Then after that.
Thank you, Elder DePaul.
Thank you for making the connection, sister, and stay strong over
You're
there.
welcome.
Okay. All right, bless you.
The water.
Man, I'll tell you, these sisters are waking up. We have Juan from Asher, from Colombia, 573
Shalom,
area code.
Elder.
Shalom. What's up, Juan? Talk to me.
Shalom, Elder. Yes.
You have a question? Come on.
Blessings from Colombia. Yes. I have a question for the elder in Mexico.
Okay, the elder in Mexico. Shakam, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, Elder Shakam is on.
Hello.
What question do you have for him?
Early this year, I went to a little town in the Pacific coast of Colombia, and the Lord and Ahaya, the Most High, put me something in my heart to develop something like a farm over there too. So I don't know how am I going to get the money. We need tools, we need filters and everything. But I call this project Isaiah 45:3. So I don't know wealth transfer. I don't know anything about that. But the only thing that I know is that the Lord has put in me this desire to expand, to build community, to build church over there. Maybe I'm not ready, but Deacon Kazak has given us all the tools to preach to preach the gospel over there. So people in that area of Colombia are sick and tired of these evangelical crusades where they bring only sodas, pork, big pharma, and they make these crusades and with a lot of miracles and things like that, and they don't want that. When I talk about I went for a photographic job over there, and they did a procession with little Jesus and everything. When they asked me what did I think about that, I say, well, I think you should praise Christ too, the resurrected Christ. And I have a little conversation with the priest over there, and people got really interested about knowing that Christ was black, according to Revelation. And in a nutshell, there's a lot of people starving for the truth gospel in that area of Colombia. So I want to start a project over there. So it's like that. Maybe we can network and do things, learn from each other. I learn from you guys. When I was a young man, I used to live in Israel, and maybe the kibbutz thing could work too. This community, agricultural community, could do a lot of things good in Colombia, because Colombia is starving for the true gospel.
Well, I bet they are, and it's most high to have you call in here. So what I did was I text your number. I text your number to a main brother that we have, Deacon Kazak, who's really, we're moving him to Bishop Kazak very soon, of Puerto Rico, okay?
Oh, really? Okay, great.
And he'll
great news.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so he's going to reach out to you.
All right.
And connect with you, and we're going to get this thing going on in Colombia. If you need some help as far as dealing with the garden and all those things, once we get that church connection first, and then we can move into the food sector, okay?
Excellent.
All right.
Thanks, Elder.
I really appreciate you. Hey, welcome to the family, brother. This is what this truth is all about, all right? Bless you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I see you, Sunshine. I didn't forget you. LaTanya has a comment.
Okay, let me see. Oh, hold on. Where's it?
All right, going down the line. Unfortunately, we have Yolanda with a question.
Shalom, Elder. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best, and his name is Ahaya. How are you?
Doing just great.
Great.
My question is, you've been teasing us with all this music. When are you going to drop that second album?
Oh yeah. Well, don't forget we have some people flying in to do the video for Bye Bye, and that's August 1st. So I want to actually spearhead all of this during the time right before the new moon or the new month for September, when there's 3 holy days within September in of itself. So I want to spearhead it where we can launch this right before, around tabernacles and things of that nature, around the September, about the time that children are going to school and all that. And, right before the school period, I want to drop it late August, early September. So no more teasing. We're going to get the video and then we're going to drop the whole project. Yeah. And this time we're going to do something a little different. Once the project takes traction, we're going to start going into the different areas where there's churches. Okay? We're going to go into different areas where we have churches set up, and we're going to do the whole music with the purpose along with teaching the gospel to the neighborhoods and all that at the same time. So we're going to try to integrate it all into a mission, not just having the music, but using it as a tool to get to the youth and to bring and to actually provoke conversation. Okay?
Okay, well, we're looking forward to you coming to Mississippi.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, you'll see me there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, then, the water.
All right, bless you. Shalom.
Shalom.
Muted. Unmuted.
Okay, I muted myself. What's going on here? All right, Sunshine. The culture of the kingdom people. Let's roll.
Shalom. Hi.
Shalom.
Shalom. Hello. Elders. Shalom. Hi. oh, bless you, elders. Hi. Shalom. Oh. Okay. Okay. Elders. It's so true that it's like reverse psychology, where there's an automatic and quiet understanding that all nations outside of Israel can create generational wealth for their own bloodlines and families, while Israel, the true children of Israel, are not expected to advance or even desire advancement for themselves or future generations. And in fact, when we make an attempt towards creating generational wealth for our own communities, we, the children of Israel, are met with like 2 categories of destroyers: diversions from gaining wealth via trickeries and psychology, that the other nations perpetuate against us. As we see with, all the alignment with multiculturalism and feminism and liberalism and all that, and opening up doors to steal the bag, like with the Civil Rights Fund. And then the second thing is the Judas trap set for our people, by our people, to keep the masses among us at the bottom of every crab bucket without relief or hope. Our own people operating as overseers against us, to keep us in those buckets and away from transformation into what we were truly meant to become. And instead of seeing how we as a kingdom people can build and rebuild in common code according to the word, we in Willie Lynch curse and sometimes willful or selfish practices, we go hard in the pain in opposition against the Most High and against our own kicking against the pricks. And towards our own habitual downgrades, and because in attempt to keep our own houses comfortable and hang on to our own dreams, we lose temporarily. And for some of us who we don't change in mindset, we choose to lose all in all in the end. And to top it off, when we choose Christ, our Savior, as kingdom people, the Jew first and then the Gentile, who sojourn with Israel and desire to love our God, the public and private shunnings that from those people who are against Christ and despise our power grow stronger and stronger towards the servant. And yet, as we begin understanding our power in Christ, we realize that the slave shackles upon Israel first and also upon the whole earth are actually invisible bonds, like we were talking about, because we are all afforded gifts. And all of us in Christ desire our gifts to be used for righteousness while chaos is happening all around us, and we walk in wisdom of the Most High and the fruit of the Spirit. And in harmlessness, build and see new ways to build and begin, being connected to the heavens in time by calling on the Most High, His true name, Ahia, and His Son Christ, Yeshua, and Sabbath to Sabbath, and feast day to feast day, and prayer to prayer, we can move forward in confidence and really in boldness, in wisdom, and harmlessness, we can rage against those winds tossing people to and fro and every wind of doctrine. So we in Christ can gird strong against the harlot pulpits and the media platforms and the medical apparatus and all of the political impositions against us, and we can see them, the impositions that are against, the black males as well as, us and people in the ghettos and, with the drug paraphernalia that's sent out as peace and safety for our communities, and it's not. And then the eventual imposition that is to progressively weaken our nation to prevent one body with a unified front. Through the boldness in Christ, though, we can move forward in faithfulness, even as a mustard seed, with diligent working hands of carpenters, masons, herbalists, farmers, cooks, nurturers, righteous scribes, and the list goes on. And through each gift, we were given and have grown through our captivities, the various captivities. We can spread and share knowledge and nonstop growth in new ideas and inspirations, being linked to a continual stream of creativity by the grace of Christ. And in His righteous body, without a doubt, as Elder Shakam, with the work of His hands has shown, the kingdom, as Christ said, is within us. And our motivation to work harder in the pain for us and to the glory of our God and never again cast our pearls is a certainty. And by grace, it's a promise prophesied. And that's all I wanted to say, Elder.
Well, thank you.
All
Eloquently
praise be to
put.
the Most High.
Thank you, Sunshine.
That's all I wanted to say.
All right.
Praise be to the Most High.
Okay. Yeah, and she wrote all that down too. Hey, she's good at it. But hey, a lot of things what she said is right on point. The kingdom of heaven cometh not by observation. It's within us. So the question is, what are you doing to prepare for when there's no more food? What are you doing? Okay. Get together with your families, because the other nations are already in front of this, and make a plan. Teach our children how to grow. Teach them that food doesn't grow in supermarkets. Pray to the Father to use what's in us to gain resources to sustain us. All right? With that, I'm going to say shalom. May the Most High be with you. Stay prayed up. Sin not. And keep in mind, the Most High is calling back Israel. That's right. I'll see you all this Friday on Patreon when we'll be going over the music industry's darkest secrets. Shalom and good night.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape, we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulun from Panama.